You are 3, 2, 1. Uncle John, you are live. The man, introduce us.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Sure, why not? Probably get your parents' permission. There might be some adult talk on here. I don't know. But welcome to ARMTV, the live call-in show where you, yes, you could be a star right here tonight. We're going to be talking about all things arm wrestling tonight, including a little bit of a recap of the East versus West event put on by Ingen Terzi over the weekend. Also going to talk a little ROTN and a little Arm Wars as well. How are you, Gary?
Can you see the belt?
It's pretty shiny. We might need a little bit of a close-up.
Okay, let me... I can't... Oh. Man, I haven't figured out this
business. Yes. Oh, man. It's pretty sexy, Gary. It's pretty nice. That's awesome. I mean, you can't... Oh, he doesn't have his headphones on.
That's my favorite part is the champion is holding on to the arm.
Right. He ripped it off.
Yeah.
Dude, that is a hot looking belt. That is definitely one of a kind.
Yeah, so I want to do something different. The plates tell a story from beginning to end. There's someone that mentioned me, there's very little to do with arm wrestling, and I'm like, so
what was very little? Oh, the way it looks.
Like they were saying your artwork, they're saying, I don't know what all the skulls, it's like it's more to do with Satan than arm wrestling. And I'm like,
get out of here.
Dude, you're weird.
Looks awesome.
I'm like, dragons. I've loved dragons since I was a kid. Yeah. And then, of course, like 300 came out. Of course, you're into the Spartan business. And there's been a lot of Spartan kind of graphics intertwined with arm wrestling. And then, Game of Thrones was a huge thing. I'm huge into like the big battles. Braveheart is one of my favorite movies. And so I wanted something to kind of mix some of those things that I like. And so someone's like, that's not what I like. And I'm like, well, I don't care what you like. I wanted to create a one-of-a-kind award that I would like.
Well, also, every other arm wrestling award ever has like just a couple of arms on there, right? Couple of arms. It's a trophy with a couple of arms.
Yeah.
A ring with a couple of arms. It's a belt with a couple of arms. This is like pretty mega. And I think for my money, I'm coming and I'm going to win one and I'm going to just mount it right here. And it will shine in all of its glory right here in the Armatorium.
Well, that would be awesome. And I think my conversation with James Reed, was it Paul Lynn and James? Yeah, I think it was James Reed. And he was like, hey, the arm wrestlers really like, I'm like, he basically told me that the sport has evolved because of Wall. Arm wrestlers, like, if you're not paying out like the big bucks, arm wrestlers like, Yeah. It's like, but if you have a really cool award, it can draw out some of the good guys. And so I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, well, I know that my prize money isn't going to be wowing right off the bat because I'm building it from scratch. So I'm like, I want to do and I researched the cost of belts and I'm like, okay, if you were trying to give a belt to every class, it really could get out of control. But if I was giving away, hopefully everyone paying attention, following along, I'm really trying to streamline the model, keep it simple. One champion, ruler of the nation. It goes into like, I don't know. Do you watch Game of Thrones?
I saw them all. Yeah.
Okay. So in Game of Thrones, Battle of the Bastards, they've by this time they've built up Jon Snow as being like the man. And really that battle, you find out that's like even the man basically could just get slaughtered. Like you survived that battle by luck. It was like so many people died. And it was like they got so squished together, and it was like I really like that because it was like a real life representation of maybe what it was like back then. I mean, if you look at big battle scenes, it's not always people are charging at each other and someone picks one guy and it's like all these little singular fights. They're like an arm wrestling match. It's more like probably I can imagine it was just one big smosh pit of people, and you can't even get arms. You can't even swing properly because you suddenly get hit over the head with an axe and you're out. And it's like I was kind of like, oh, I would think that would be cool, like ruler of the nation. The guy who wins the ruler of the nation is not just the best arm wrestler in the world. He had to be the luckiest. He had to, everything had to work out perfectly for you to be the king of the mountain at the end of it. Because I want everyone else to be like, well, I could have been that guy. I mean, he's not the best. Like he had to have so many things go right for him. So I kind of thought that would be cool to have the imagery match that. So anyways, anyone out there, you don't like it, tough titty. I think some people will appreciate it. Aussie
Arm Wrestler.
Yes! Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and ready, bang! As always, so excited to be on ARMTV. Thank you, Gary. And I must say that championship belt looks schmick, looks phenomenal. You have done an amazing job. Almost looks as good as Uncle John's handlebar mustache, but that you've absolutely knocked that one out the park, Gary. So excited for that event to hurry up to see if who will be the first owner of that belt. Thanks for having me on, gentlemen.
Oh, always.
Thanks
always.
for being here. And before we get into like the main event stuff,
cut it out.
Full hand painted. This is Ultimate Warrior from WrestleMania 6. Hand painted chest. Just got to work on the face a little bit, and we're home.
Yeah.
You hand painted it?
Heck yeah.
And did you the mount with the little logo? Were you?
Yeah, the chest piece.
Are you making?
Oh, it's insane.
No, the base with Uncle John.
Oh, this is Uncle John's baked beans, pizza flavored baked beans.
Wait, what is this? Are you giving this away? Is this for you?
This is all lore of Uncle John's history that you hadn't come back yet. And we had a whole saga of bean slime with me and Devin Larrett and John Milne, and it was a whole thing.
Wow. I think that I was like, here I am working on the belt, but you were working on something cool over there yourself with the.
They're insane.
I dig it. I dig it.
Phenomenal job with them.
Before we get into the good stuff, because I something pretty significant happened this weekend, the East versus West. If you were just joining us.
Hey, Gary, your microphone's all over the place, banging against something. There we go.
Sorry. If you're out there waiting for the main event, the East-West, we're going to get to it, but I would like to, of course, just wrap up the few less significant things. Like, for instance, my channel's doing awesome. We're doing awesome. Everything's going awesome. But at the end of the day, nobody's doing recaps of what happened at ARMTV. That's when, like, my goals will, I think, start to be met when things that I'm working on are getting talked about. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm pretty excited to continue down this path, and hopefully one day people deem it, besides me, worthy of talking about. But that being said, June 19th, this Saturday, I got a message from somebody, Dina Haynes, arm wrestler out of Ohio. She says, hey, I was at the Michigan States and I was asking around, anybody going to your event? And a lot of the guys didn't know about it. And she's like, I kind of felt bad for you. Did you know that local people don't know about your event? And I'm like, well, I'm kind of nervous. I haven't want to over promoted it because I knew it was close to Michigan States and I didn't want to. I got a little heat for being near nationals, and then And then I come to find out Bill Collins is having a tournament in Texas this Saturday too.
Yeah,
There's,
it's Texas.
there's a lot going on in arm wrestling.
Yeah, it's happening.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's amazing. I think what happens now, nothing's happening here in Australia at the moment, but with you guys over there, especially in the States, I think now what you have to do is just focus on your tournament, your event being the best, because every time I wake up in the morning, there's another event happening, another event. So now what every promoter needs to do is just pull their thumb out their ass and just realize that people can't attend every event now. That's how great this sport's going. So now you want to win the ruler of the night belt. I've got to get to ARMTV. I've got to get to Gary's event. I might have to sit out this little event over there or this little event over there. I don't think you should worry too much anymore about stepping on any toes when you book your next event, because so many are happening. It's fantastic.
And for people out there, I don't mind it being small. I would much rather have less people that I could focus on creating a good show than having where people are like, oh, dude, why don't you have more refs? Why don't you have more tables? We're going to be here till midnight. I hate you. The chat's like, get your shit together. What kind of event is this? I'm like, first one out of the park. I want a more intimate setting.
That's your selling point. Put that on the poster. An intimate pulling experience.
Yeah. I mean
is that just a bailout in case no one turns up? You're like, oh, but I wanted that. I wanted 4 people to show up.
Well, I need 8. I need 8 people. That's, to be honest. And I'll get that. But I mean, like, I don't know. I'm really scared of it being too big, because I only want to run one table, and I know at one table I'm saved by doing right hand only. But I know one table can draw out your event. So I have a 3-hour window. That's my event time. So I'm hoping we make it. Ozzy, you coming? That's a short flight. What's that? 55 hours?
I want to come. At the moment, I can't leave apparently 25 kilometers from my house. The gyms aren't even open here at the moment. I haven't worked in the last couple of weeks because I run a gym, swimming pool and whatnot. That's why I've been able to jump on these last few weeks. Mate, I would love to come. At the start of COVID, it was perfect for the Aussie arm wrestler. I came in, I was providing the arm wrestling world with some energy and a laugh at a terrible time. Now it's just really holding me down like a wet blanket because I can't go anywhere to get to these events. I'm happy to sponsor events whenever I can, but at the moment, I can't, it's hard to even take a shit these days. It's driving me insane.
I'm wondering, are we in the same planet as you guys? Because I just went to the store and I didn't even have a mask on.
I've never worn a mask, but yeah, we've got people still wearing masks and things like that, like losing it over 2 cases. No one's dying, just 2 cases. And
what do you mean? You go to a store and you don't have to wear a mask?
We're supposed to, but I've never worn one.
Never
worn one.
Wow.
No, the way I see it, Gary, I'm a bit old-fashioned at my 36 years of wisdom. That if you exercise and eat relatively good food, you're going to have a strong immune system. So you're not really going to get sick. And so, yeah, I was just like, everyone stress panicking is just going to put that sickness into their own body. So I just walk around like Vince McMahon everywhere, like an alpha male that I am, and just went, bang, I will be fine breathing this fresh air. I'm only 5'10.5", but I was the tallest 5'10.5" guy in Australia. You don't get a 3rd place trophy over for nothing, but there was 0 chance I'm wearing a mask.
Man, somebody's going to call me woke for saying this. It isn't about you getting sick. It's about you could give sick people the sickness. You know what I mean?
Mate,
that's what they say.
Okay, I know that's what people say, but with my research, and as I mentioned on the last time I was on ARMTV, my wife battling cancer, and I still didn't wear a mask. I was not worried about giving it to anyone, especially my wife, that had the weakest immune system out of just about anyone. So, yeah, we were solid. My wife was battling cancer, had no hair, no eyebrows, no whatever, and still didn't wear a mask. That's how serious we thought this whole thing was.
And what a champion she is. By the way, the funniest thing to come out of that story you just told, Cobra Rhodes says, he's only 36 years old. I have more kids than that.
Uncle John said that Canada, like in August, you think you'll be able to travel to some events
All right,
again?
so the big news. We're moving forward in Canada, finally. We hope, fingers crossed. So tomorrow, I am able to actually practice again. I can go on a table with the team, maximum 10 people at the practice, but we can go and we can train. Okay, so that's really good. 2 weeks from tomorrow, we should be going into the next phase, which I believe will allow us to have competitions again, which is also really good. The third good thing is that on June 23rd, we are supposedly opening up what they call the Atlantic bubble, which means all of the Atlantic provinces will be open to travel back and forth, which means we can hold Atlantic level tournaments, which is like the whole eastern part of Canada. The fourth exciting thing is that apparently by July 14th, that's the target date, that we will be able to travel around Canada freely, anywhere in Canada.
Oh my God.
So
when? July what?
July 14th. So I'm really excited for that. But my logic says, okay, maybe by the beginning of August, the Canadian-US border will be a little bit more open. Allowing me, because I need to get down to the US. I got to hang out with Cobra. I got to do an ROTN. I got to get a super match in, all in preparation for ARMWARS stuff.
Okay,
so.
okay. Perfect segue. Okay, can I say something that may be controversial regarding Uncle John, ARMWARS, and Neil Pickup?
Would expect nothing less.
Okay, forgive me. And I was scared to do this, but I feel it's my duty to protect my friend, Uncle John. Are you sitting down?
I'm sat.
Oh, okay. Here's my take on this whole. What's this guy's name you're supposed to arm wrestle?
David Bradford, originally of Wales, but I believe he lives in Birmingham now.
Okay.
Or Edinburgh, maybe. I can't remember.
And this is no disrespect to Neil Pickup. He's a promoter. I love him, and he's just doing what he has to do. And that is, I feel like he's using you, Uncle John.
Feels good.
He knows that you're going to be big time. He's using your name. He's setting you up to be squashed by this dude. And like, they're all over there in England laughing about it. They're not going to take you seriously. This match is purely to bring attention to this guy. And it's going to be at the cost of you, because when I saw this dude, man, he looks really big. And last time I checked, you look awesome, but you're getting smaller.
I am enormous.
And I feel like you're getting set up to be taken advantage of and perhaps smashed on the table. And I wanted to say, are you prepared for that? Do you know you're being used?
Well, let's say this. I have a very positive relationship with Neil Pickup. I think that if he's not using me for being Uncle John, then I don't know what he's doing, because that's what he should be doing, is using me because I am Uncle John. Like that's the whole point, right? Now, the interesting question is, how good is David Bradford? And this is the real interesting thing, because when can you even think of the last time a guy from the UK pulled a guy from North America? The only guy that I can think of off the top of my head that consistently was pulling in North America is Tom Holland in the WAL.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And it's been a while. So it's really, really going to be interesting to see where that is. Now, let me be clear about something. I don't know where I am in comparison to David Bradford. Based on what I've seen and the data that I've gathered, I think we're pretty close. I think we're pretty close left-handed. Right-handed, I'm not so sure yet. Left-handed, I think we're very, very close. Now, the other point of it is that Neil has a vested interest in Arm Wars matches being good matches.
That's right. This is not an ambush. It's not an ambush.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was saying the only way this could work is if you prove these mofos wrong. If you take this seriously, you train, you go in there, and you're like, oh no, don't you doubt me thinking that I was just going to be some guy you can roll over. I'm like, are you ready? Are you ready for, if you want a guy like me to look past this ginormous dude I watched arm wrestle and pick team UJ, I got to know that you're in it for real.
Look, I have 15 weeks, 14 and a half weeks from today. 14 and a half weeks. My training camp started about 20 minutes after Neil told me that I have a match at Arm Wars. Okay. There will be no days that I am not training specifically for this match in the next 15 weeks. There will be no breaks. The only time there's going to be a break is if it's specifically slated for high reps to heal myself up. There will be no stopping. I will go to tournaments, I will do super matches, and I will not stop my training for those tournaments and super matches. I don't care. The only thing in my life that matters right now is going to Arm Wars and giving Neil Pickup the best match I can. Because nobody wants it to be over in a flash, right? Neil does not want... Yeah, Neil doesn't want me to smash David, and he doesn't want David to smash me. He wants us to beat each other to a bloody pulp, and that is my intention. Not in a mean way, not in a bad way, in a glorious, absolute slobber knocker type of way. By the way, David Bradford is going to be on my show tomorrow. It's a special time.
What?
Special time, 6 p.m. Atlantic.
You're bringing on the enemy? You're not allowed to do that.
The enemy on the show.
What?
6 p.m. Atlantic time tomorrow. We're doing an early after dark, and I'm gonna meet the man face to face.
Yes.
You're not gonna be nice to him. I don't like this nice business.
Well, the problem is he seems like a terribly nice guy. I've talked to him a little bit.
But Neil doesn't care. He doesn't care who wins that match. He's bringing Uncle John over. They've built a great relationship. He hasn't got that Eastern European about him. They don't mind a bit of an ambush, but
he's throwing Uncle John a bone, but he thinks you're gonna get crushed.
Well, you got to think that maybe there is some patriotism there, and I would expect there to be. But let me get you to think about this. What better way to make my impression on the UK than to take one of their boys and just plant my flag right there in the Arnold Classic, right?
Plant your flag. I love it. Listen, I respect Neil Pickup for doing what he does, and I'm glad he's back in the game. I love him behind the mic. I do. I love him announcing and all that business. But, I mean, so it's very interesting because we're going to talk about the East-West business. And, first props have to be given out. This, I feel like, so when I watched the numbers, did they break records? We don't know what the Larry Wheels, Michael Todd, Devin Larry, because that was behind a paywall. But I want to know, in terms of streams, broadcasting, arm wrestling events, I feel like the East-West got some record-breaking numbers or close to.
What was the highest number you guys saw on their stream? I thought it was like
8,300 and something.
8K and something. Is that for an arm wrestling event? Is that the record?
I mean, it's got, for something that's just been broadcast on YouTube, it's got to be. What else would have been bigger?
Does anyone know why Coach Ray's made the video private now?
Well, I think they're trying to redo it and put it and edit it up into an actual show.
That's what I thought.
But like it's all over the place. People stole it already and put it up.
Oh man! Yeah. By the time we were watching the last the last match with Justin and Ermak, or the Turkish fella, like I had things pop up on my phone on YouTube of the matches prior, like that Hermes and Matt Mask was done before Todd Hutchings even got to the table. It was just, it was just out of control.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I can't. Okay, wait. Okay. So did you all watch it? Well, before we get into it, I just want to say, I mean, literally some of the community said,
Derek,
hey,
you're
let's.
muted.
What?
Derek's muted. There
Unmuted. Some of the community, they're like, hey, we want to have some setups. It's like literally, it is. I'm not saying it's easy because you got to do the work, but I'm saying like, dude, anybody can do it, right?
Wait, anybody can do what?
Do something for arm wrestling. Promote.
Oh, sure.
Like if you're out there and you don't, okay. I've seen a lot of chat and I feel like we've got to talk about the crazy, non-educated, angry, always bitching about everything. Even though it's like, what are you doing? Part of the aspect of arm wrestling, but it's like, if you don't like how someone's doing it, you could go do your own thing. Like it's amazing. This is a great time for arm wrestling that you could do cool shit if you want to. And so
I've been screaming about that. I've been telling people, like, when that whole everyone hating on the Kings move, I kept shouting out to people during my videos. I'm like, well, if you don't like the Kings move, run an event without a Kings move. Tell everyone the Kings move's banned and see how your event goes. Be a pioneer. Yeah. Instead of just sitting there bitching and moaning about the sport of arm wrestling, go out and do something and try and change it.
So anyways, big shout out to those guys. That seemed like a very successful event. It was partially funded by the community. People put together the monies, and that we'll talk about it in just a second. But let's introduce the man, Derek Smith.
Whoa, what's up, guys? Excited to be here.
You're actually
big fella.
You're actually a perfect person to have here because you were at the first one.
You interrupted my hello, Gary. I couldn't even say fucking hello before you interrupted me just
I'm
now,
sorry.
man. I didn't even finish my hello.
Start over.
Gary, I just got here.
Start over.
What hello? Hello, Uncle John. Good to see you, brother. Excited to see you. Cut weight, looking beefy.
Thank you.
Arm wrestler, always in here, man. My boy, monetized, killing the game. Big YouTube channel right here, killing it. And Gary Roberts, my longtime friend and brother and contributor and sender of me around the world. What's going on, guys? I'm happy to be here on the show. Now, what's up?
So let's read a super chat before we get in. Daniel Urich, $5. Derek, number 2 in Cali. Congrats, Mega Mike. Daniel, thank you for your $5 super chat. We appreciate it.
He's hating. That's sarcasm, by the way, in that super chat.
Is that
some inside info that some shenanigans?
I mean, I was thinking there's some missing punctuation in there, so I wasn't 100% sure. So Derek Smith, that trip to Dubai, it was like a miracle that you just ended up in Turkey while Ingen Terzi is putting on a major event with all these big wigs coming from around, the East, and you're like getting to meet all these guys. And like at that time, did you think, oh, they're going to do this again? This is like,
I said, oh, this is dandy. Oh, shucks. Look at my luck here. My lucky stars. No, I mean, I went out there. I knew there was going to be an event because Ingen kept telling me, he's like, yeah, come out here. We'll talk. I'm going to be a little busy. I'm putting on an event. And I said, cool, I'll be there for the event too. He goes, cool. I didn't know that much about it. I mean, I knew there's big matches. And then, like I said, though, I was the one that got Larry or put it all in motion as far as getting Larry and Nicole to go, which in turn got Gennady and Vitaly and all them to go over there because they were with Larry. And then I got some cool footage and all that because I was working behind the scenes. Gary, like you taught me, you got to make the news sometimes. You got to make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, can we make news right now? Can we make news right now? Is there a chance that you going over there and getting all those other big names kind of sparked a fire that created another event with more big names?
No. I don't want to make it sound like I'm taking credit for what.
No,
Ian
I
created.
want to know.
No, I was just saying, like, just on the Larry Wheels thing. I
no,
started
but you
that,
got you said then Gennady.
Drop
Well,
the
because you were
hammer,
gonna see
Derek.
Larry,
Let
it's-
us know.
No. Ingen was already doing that. I just got some names because of what I started. Some names ended up going there,
Yeah,
but he was
then,
already Hermes was already going there, and all the other guys who competed were already going there. Just some of the other names I got to. roll.
So the reason what I'm trying to get to is like, then you did a live broadcast.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they were not going to live broadcast at all, but all I remember is that your live broadcast kind of like blew up. And I'm wondering if like that set the seeds for this crazy live broadcast that I just watched this past weekend. Like, was there?
Well,
some...
he offered me to go live broadcast it again, because I was one of the bigger contributors. Oh no, not I. Because I and the fundraising I did from the community towards this event was one of the bigger contributors. Ingen said, Derek, you're welcome to live stream as well. Because he said Ray's live stream. I was like, Ray didn't even raise no money for this thing. You Ray's channel gets this. But he's like, you're welcome to come live stream as well, Derek. I said, cool. If I come out there, I would love to chop away at Ray's channel. But no, but I said thank you. He offered it. But I didn't end up going out there.
I'm so glad you're here. How much money did you help raise? What?
Let's see. So on the night I did the fundraiser, it was $1,100. I raised off YouTube, and then I gave them $250 of my own money. So that much.
That's
Jeez,
amazing.
I was gonna brag about my $25 donation.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I gave 20 Australian.
Yeah, I that's when I chugged the Foster's beer with my shirt off. That was for.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You know how to work it.
You got to do what we got to do.
Yeah.
I feel bad
Dixie.
because I didn't donate.
No,
You
I mean,
didn't donate? The hell is your problem?
Dude,
I mean, in a way, Gary, you started the cogs turning in my head of how I can raise money for events because you sent me to Dubai, and so I went and raised money for an event by doing crazy shit for a few hours, and then I raised money. So that's kind of because of you, in a way. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of contributed.
I'm glad, dude. It's just so cool to see how many people are doing cool shit. But here's I totally wanted to donate, but I didn't realize my Patreon. I'm trying to raise Patreon money to give away. I didn't realize Patreon, because I'm subscribed. I think I'm at $60 a month or more to other Patreon channels. Like I'm subscribed to Arm Wrestling News, their Patreon, Ryan Espy's Patreon. I think I'm Uncle John's Patreon. I'm trying to like just get, see if a karma thing can work. Just try to give as much as possible. But then I'm having my event this weekend, and I'm already realized like having events is expensive. Like I'm writing checks that I didn't realize I was going to be writing checks for. Anyways, I'm out of money. In fact, like Kyle Thunder Nelson, he's going to help me with the registration. I'm like, hey, I can't pay you until I get my next check because I'm out of money. So you're going to work for free Saturday, and I'll pay you later. I'll gladly pay you on Tuesday. Anyways, that's my little side story. But okay, so I won't feel bad, but I kind of still do feel bad.
Well, we all take care of each other. I mean, I donate money every time I'm pretty much in a chat to whoever, and John donates money to my channel when he's in there. We all just kind of throw money around to each other. I mean, support. Right? So.
Hermes Desperini, $4.99 super chat. Speaking of super chats, we appreciate that business.
Thank you.
John has more of a chance at winning that match than Gary does at beating Gabby or Sarah. Love you guys.
Wait, Gary, are you arm wrestling Gabby or Sarah, Gary?
You should have heard him. Let me tell the story. You should have heard him.
Wait.
Gary, don't do it, Gary. I don't.
Let me set it.
I will put the challenge out. I am speaking to Gabby Thursday night, doing a recorded podcast with Gabby V. So I'm going to put the challenge out there.
Okay, hold on, Uncle John. Before you tell your story, I just want to say that since my return of arm wrestling, I've been back now a year. I have spoken to both Sarah and Gabby, who have all welcomed a rematch. We agree for fun. We agreed. We had so much fun the first time. I mean, dude, Sarah and my match, that's like, I don't know. It's 4 million. I don't know how many million. It's a lot of views. And so I still get hit up about it. So if we ever do meet, they would love to arm wrestle again. But John, tell your story.
Oh, somebody, I think it started with somebody talking about you. You were bragging about some kind of wins you had. And then somebody said, you couldn't even beat a girl. And Gary said, not only can I beat a girl, I will beat every single woman on this planet, he said.
Oh,
And he
shit.
was just like foaming at the mouth. And he was like, the Andy Kaufman just came right out of him.
Oh shit.
And so, and Gary was on the warpath. And I mean, he was ready to attack at that point in time. I think that type of match should have some real big backing behind it. That is the next big one. And get Engen on the phone, Derek. That's the
I have no disrespect towards I really so Sarah Bachman, I arm wrestled her when she was like 16 years old. She was in Worlds in
She's
Manchester.
like 100 pounds lighter than 2 inch Gary. What do you want right now, bro?
Like I arm wrestled her then I arm wrestled her at the LA Fit Expo, Bill Collins event. And what no one knows from that video, is that I popped her hand. I popped her hand. I knew I could get her hand, but I chose to go in her power. And that's where she got me. I chose to enter her strength zone. If I truly wanted to win, I just bust that hand out.
Let it be known that on today, June 15th, Gary's flex is he chose to go into Sarah Bachman's power.
That is 100%. Listen, slow-mo the video, watch it. You'll see on the go, I kind of went like this, and so then I decided to go inside. It's like 100%.
After winning, you decided to lose.
No. I didn't win that match. I went right into her hook, and she was tough. She was tough in the hook. Once she got me in the hook, I couldn't. No, I don't hook. I'm not a good hook. I'm not a good hooker. I have to top roll all day. So
yeah, there's plenty of crack in that story, but I don't think it's wrists, mate.
But listen. It would be for fun, but I would go in 100% confident because that's what I do.
Hey, I would rather see you versus Gabby or Sarah than you versus Barry Bourne.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, is his name still around?
No, that was the first time anyone has said it in multiple months.
Oh, wow. He has disappeared.
Reset the clock.
He has disappeared.
Thank you, Arm Wrestling World.
Go back to normal.
Okay, so I would you like to say someone in the chat said they would like to see Gary versus Uncle John, and I told Uncle John off camera, if you want to see Gary versus Uncle John, it exposes how much you don't know about arm wrestling, because unlike Gabby and Sarah, I know that Uncle John would probably own me.
Yeah, so. not probably.
Of course.
Hey, each video, John started to look more and more like me with the backwards hat.
I'm just taking over. I'm taking over your position.
Power's coming.
Derek.
The power's coming with it. I like it.
I hope you grow to 6'7", Uncle John. You just start, your chair keeps going back and back because your training's going so well. You're now 6'2", and then you're 6'4", and then when the match comes, you're 6'7".
Derek, we could do Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger twins. We could make a poster, and I'll be Danny and you could be Arnold.
God damn it, Uncle John, get over here! God damn it!
Hey, we got super chats. We got some super chats. Danny Urich, $5. Thank you so much. Daniel says, support the sport, guys. Yo, John, Aussie, Gary. Oh, hi, Derek. He's only here to skip the gym. Is that true, Derek?
Okay, I might have used you guys as a scapegoat to keep me from going to the gym. I said I'm gonna hop on live with the guys so I don't go lift weight. I need a rest day apparently, so I'm gonna take a day.
Hermes Desperini with another $4.99. He says, I asked Gary who the best pro female arm wrestler he could beat is, and he said not a single one could beat him. I called him crazy. Now I brought it up again. Hermes.
Here's the deal. I apologize, so don't feel bad. I apologize. And it's very difficult because we live in a society where it's like everyone's got to be equal. And it's like, I just am confident that I can own these ladies. That's just I just feel like I can. I
love it. This is awesome. This is so good.
Yeah,
Get him, Gary.
The claw face, Gary.
If there was ever a time for intergender matches, the woke world of today is right now. You might have to say you are a woman. I don't know what the process of that is, but
I think now we have to introduce Gary as the intergender champion of the world.
Yes.
Okay, can I tell you something? In an alternate universe, okay.
Can you wear a wig? Can you please wear a wig when you do it? Please,
listen,
Gary,
listen.
Can you please do it?
Derek, let me tell you something. This is the story I told, so forgive me for repeating this out there, and we'll get into East-West 2 minutes. I'm married to a very respectable lady named Caroline, and the shenanigans that I used to kind of be, I would go to tournaments and get drunk and do some crazy stuff. It's like, I can't really do that anymore, but I'm letting you know that, man, if it were the old days right now, I would show up at nationals in a dress, in a wig, and say, I identify, put me in women heavies. Bam! I wouldn't even fake the voice. I'd put on lipstick. Can't put lipstick on a pig. Oh, yes, you can. Oink, oink, oink.
I can totally see you doing it, Gary.
I would enter that tournament because you know why I would do this? Because that would be insta viral. In this political, all media is good media in this situation. And I know.
Canceled.
I know that canceled
and canceled.
I'm with Gary on this one. I reckon that would blow up. I reckon
it would be funny.
But you can't compete in the super heavies. You got to compete in like the super lightweight division and just run through the division. Just run through.
Well, you have to make weight
with a beard.
Here's the deal. The reason I bring this up is because it's very topical. I don't know if you guys seen, but these track athletes in high school, formerly boys, they identify as girls and they're just crushing girls, crushing girls. And it's like, I get, you may feel like you should have been born a girl, but you are clearly crushing the girls. I just don't know in sports how it's allowed.
John, what we do is when Gary does this and there's just viral videos of him crushing ladies and screaming at them, immediately we go and we make our channels boost because he'll go viral and he'll get shut down. But we make channels talking shit about how wrong Gary is as a human being. What a disgusting of a person he is. And we go, you guys, subscribe. These guys are gross.
That Gary Roberts is so wrong. Oh, that's disgusting what he's
doing. And we ride the wave. We ride the wave, John.
Well, I can see it now. Cis white male ruins arm wrestling.
Yeah. Well, I already wrote it up for my next video. It's already. I just gotta upload it as soon as he does it.
I love my wife. I don't want to get a divorce, so sadly I can't do that. But man, one of you guys out there should, because that would go viral, man. I'm telling you.
Now with an attitude like that, you can, Gary.
Dude, listen. I have ideas, man. I have ideas. You should copy these ideas. I'm telling you. I know shit.
You are an idea, man. I'll give you that much. You are an idea, man, Gary.
ROTN, June 19th. Somebody show up, try to get this. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I said I was going to go right to East-West. Just real quickly. They told me Pablo.
45 minutes in.
Pablo
Durbadyenev.
Oh, shit. That's how you say it?
Bad dude. I don't know. That's how I read it, but
so
I could be wrong.
The local guys, Chris Chandler's like, oh, this guy's going to get that belt easy. And I'm saying I don't want anyone to win my ROTN easy. So if there's anyone out there locally within a few hours drive, 5-6 hours, sneak on in here and help make this a fun little event. I'm not saying I don't want Pablo to win. I don't want him to win easily. So is this Pablo dude? Is he badass?
Yeah, he's badass.
He's badass.
Especially lefty, bro. Yeah, good luck with that lefty. He's trying to take him that.
We're doing right only.
Oh,
so you're saying he's not as badass?
He's still a bad dude righty. I just know he's like super bad dude lefty, like ultra bad dude lefty.
Yeah. I've seen him peel Chandler out lefty.
Well, just remember, if you're out there, don't be scared of Pablo, because once first place wins, they leave the competition. Then we go for second. So once Pablo's the man, if it's him, then the whole show becomes about who's the next man. So what I love about my format is it gives the opportunity for everyone to have a little light, a little light shine on them.
Hey, we
more
got
super
super
chats?
chats and some funny comments here. Cleave it to Diener, $5 says Gary the Fairy Roberts with love, Dean.
Hey, man.
Be More Chill says Sherry Roberts. I like that. I like Sherry Roberts.
Sherry Roberts.
I just know it would go viral. I know it would go viral.
Oh God, it would in a heartbeat. Cooper Maxwell, by the way, is my newest Patreon member. He puts in $14.99. He says towards Gary's dress fund.
Uncle John, how are you kicking my ass in Patreons? What am I doing wrong?
I don't know. Do you mention it? You don't mention it very often on
Cooper.
Tuesday.
Do you like Uncle John more than me? Is that what it is?
Well, Gary, you have to remember, you're controversial, Gary. You're going to have people that say fuck no to Gary, and you're going to have people that say fuck yes to Gary. Everybody says fuck yes to John. They have no reason not to say fuck yes to John. He's not controversial. You are.
John, you're too likable, man. Okay, let's get to the main gist. East West, you all watched it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Derek, first comments.
On what match? That's a big question. Give me, come on, specifics.
Let's talk about the whole thing first, like as a event.
Okay, you start off. You want me to start? The reason I asked this is a little bit loaded. Uncle John, inside info, he had a few opinions on the overall thing, specifically related to, like, let's say WAF rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you give me your gist. Go.
All right. So overall, very happy to have the event. I think Engen did a nice job, and everybody involved did a nice job putting this together in very, very difficult times. And happy to have seen it, and we happy to have been able to see the matches, experiencing them, all that good stuff. Now, looking at it from a constructive criticism point of view, it was way the hell too long. Way too long, about 4 hours too long, in my opinion, because it was about 6 hours at the end of it, I think, somewhere in there, 6.5, 7, something like that. For me, like, I was bogging down at 2 hours. I was like,
the card was too big.
I don't know if it was too big or there was too much downtime or just everything took forever. There was every single time there was a stoppage of the match. It was like people were walking away from the table, and then we got to fully re-chalk, and it was just like,
what? What did you say? What did I feel?
Is ROTN going to fix all those problems?
Well, I feel like I've discussed. Okay. Oh, dude, oh my God. I literally was going to say one thing in particular. What drove me nuts was when I think it's somebody elbow fouled and they took the strap off. I about went livid. I'm like, oh no. Once the strap goes on in my world, dude, dude, that strap don't come off until we got a winner, bitch. Oh my God. I cannot believe they're allowed to just walk away, go get like, just because you elbow foul doesn't mean you have another 2 minutes of rest.
Yes, I agree.
Oh my God. You add up that among 50 matches. Jesus. Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
So that was the one thing. Another thing was, for whatever reason, I just was missing some fire.
Wait, hold on. Let's get their comments on what you said before.
All right.
Derek, too long?
Okay, so I was privy to a lot of behind the scenes activity. I was in the chat with Herman and Ingen and the whole fundraising from the beginning and the get-go. This whole thing was not like, WAL is a business. It plans on making money and turning arm wrestling into whatever it wants to turn it into and generate income and this and that. This was purely for the hardcore enthusiasts to see an event put on by not a promoter, by a guy who just loves arm wrestling more than anything, just like as if I put it on or something like that. It wouldn't be flashy lights. It wouldn't be anything about that. It'd be purely about finding the winner of each match. And in these crazy ass times, these hidden underground matches, just to crank out some awesome matches that we can all watch. Now, in terms of like trying to make it polished and fine tuned so we could sell this and eventually have sponsors come, like, that was in no way the objective. I don't think at all. It was about just getting the matches out so we can see the winner of these at a really high professional level, and in no way worrying about income or making it flashy. So because I know that's where it came from, I view it as such, and so I'm just happy that there was a fucking camera pointed at it and that we could watch these matches. That's how I kind of digested it. So in terms of that, I'm almost like a beggars can't be choosers type of thing. Like, we're happy something happened. Thank you.
Well, that's a good point, because Engen very well it would have been far less stressful for him to just say, okay, screw you guys. We're just going to have this event. We're going to record it and we'll release it 2 weeks from now, right?
And I guarantee he wouldn't even blink an eye to say that to everyone.
Yeah,
exactly. He wouldn't even blink an eye.
So you know, you are right. You are right.
And Ozzy?
Yeah, I think I'd be hitting the same spectrum, because here in Australia, it was 1:30 in the morning when got up and started having a chat with Ryan.
Oh yeah,
Bowen,
you and Ryan did the whole. You did the whole live
event.
Commentary. Okay.
Yeah, we did the whole event, which I absolutely love. That's what I want to do. I don't want to become the hammer holder. I love just commenting and joining things like that. But yeah,
and thank you for not broadcasting the footage simultaneously. I appreciated that you respected me.
Nah, and I think I did one match on Instagram, but I asked Coach Ray and he said that was fine. I called a match and chucked it on my Instagram. But yeah, as an arm wrestling fan, yeah, I was just grateful, absolutely gagging to watch the elites do what the elites do best. And I think Engen has a future in promoting. If he has done arm wrestling, I quite enjoyed that. I thought the setup was cool. I thought to get the Turkish community, like the ministers and things like that, like big name people in Turkey to help back it. I thought that was great. But then, of course, the other side of me loves entertainment. I love the entertainment aspect. And with the WAF rules and everything, it just, with Uncle John, it was just missing a little bit of that. But yes, for what Engen, and that's I didn't have the inside Derek had, but that's what I thought Engen was doing, was just right. There's no arm wrestling. Here you go, guys. Let's enjoy this, and and then So, but then when it was 1:30 in the morning, and suddenly I have a look and it's 7 a.m. and I'm still watching it, I was a bit like, oh yeah, come on, man. I was just happy arm wrestling was on.
It's clear to me. I agree. That's exactly what their intentions seem to me. I guess my only comment is the overwhelming people of. Here's my thing. If God came down and said, oh, we're going to judge, if you believe in God, we're going to judge humanity, whether, Armageddon never comes, depending on what we read on social media, he would nuke, he would obliterate us in a heartbeat and start over. The people on the internet are rude, mean, entitled. Oh my God, I couldn't believe some of the comments that I was reading. That's like, hey bro, you should just be lucky you're getting to watch this. And you're so like nitpicky about everything. It really drove me nuts. With the Larry Wheels, because it was behind a paywall, we didn't get their stream. So it was really interesting to see the difference, to get the actual stream of chatters. And man,
But like with any event, you got to have ups and downs of any event. And I think if you're going to put on an event at such a high regard, I think you've got to be understanding the way arm wrestling's going, that you got to cop a bit of backlash, whether you like it or not. Engen's done hugely amount for this sport, and he'll forever be a legend. I think he's like number 2 on the most titles ever won. The guy knows what he's doing. But I think, that of course in the comments people could just take a step back on what they're saying. There's nothing wrong with constructive criticism, but some of the comments I was reading, I was like, whoa.
Well, like at one point,
they got some of the best in the world to come over to Turkey and put this on for you. I just wouldn't be saying anything like that.
And at one point, Coach Ray is like doing some commentary, and someone's like, hey, can you please shut up? Like, I'm trying to watch this. I'm like, what are you?
Coach Ray, I thought Coach Ray did an exceptional job. It was just for the first part of the event, the Turkish announcer was like somehow being picked up on the same microphone. So then there was 2 voices going. But I thought Coach Ray did a did a fine job with his commentary he was doing. Daniel Urick had another $5 super chat. He says, from a fan / outsider, there were so many issues I saw to not bring new guys in. Also to make them want to watch more than 2 minutes.
Yeah. And
I mean,
that is true. But like Derek said before, that wasn't the goal. The goal wasn't to bring in new arm wrestling fans and build the sport. We're on this nice incline at the moment. The goal was to provide you the best in the world. Let's give it a fun title in East versus West, because we always love that decision. Is it North America or is it the Europeans? You know, who's the better arm wrestler? That was the goal, not to bring. Yeah, look. If you're bringing new people in, of course you're not going to show them that. You show them just fun hook battles.
Uncle John, you had the second point regarding the fire. I also had a point regarding the commentators, since we are the chatters not understanding rules. Should we do yours or do the rules first?
Well, for me, it was just, I was expecting, I guess we've seen so much WAL in the past. And like, I always think of Matt Mask against Devin Larratt. And they had that match where they were like, you fucking piece of shit, you know, and they were just going at each other and just at each other's throat. And it was like Hermes and Matt had a good match and they got riled up, but it didn't quite. I had this little level I was hoping it got to, and it didn't quite get there. It was a little too sterile, maybe. I haven't rewatched it all yet, but it just didn't get me where I needed to go. And that was kind of similar across, except for maybe Joshua Grant. That was pretty epic. Sarah's matches, those were pretty epic too. But I don't know. It just kind of seemed a little flat. I don't know if it was because of the rules, which we can segue into with that, I guess, but that was just what my general feeling.
Did you notice a lack of fire? Like, I thought Toddzilla usually gets more worked up than he did. And it's like, I don't know. Is there too much? I feel like I hit this all the time, that I want the tension. I want trash talk. I feel like it's good. It keeps me,
Keeps you entertained?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it does, right?
Someone in the chat wants to know what you're smoking, Derek.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. You guys are gonna be so ashamed of me. So I'm just like a last couple day thing. It's not gonna be a thing. It's just like I'm bored.
You can't do anything for a couple days and then
what? Famous last words.
What is it? What is it?
One of my teammates is a hardcore vaper, and he has like 19 vapes. And so every Sunday he brings it to practice, and he has one that he sets aside for me only on Sundays. I grab it at practice, and I'm like in the background, it tastes like, watermelon and stuff, and I play with it. Anyway, I bought one the other day from a store because I was bored and he wasn't there, and now it's mine. And I never usually have one, but now I own this little thing, and so I've been like puffing away at it, and I need to stop. I'm done. That's it. Just tastes like candy, and we're here.
I mean, I don't know if they put bad shit in that, but
yeah, they do. They do. And it's not gonna be a thing. Anyway,
were they lacking fire?
Fire. I saw. Okay, one. I was on a WL undercard, and I've been behind the scenes on that. They mic you up. They talk. They literally walk you through. It's not the matches are not scripted. I'm just saying that it is a production. It's a production, and it's very obvious. What's up?
You were talking about it at the first one
at WAL.
WAL. WAL.
It's
in regards to comparing and contrasting, right? Like, I've been on WL undercard, and I understand what they kind of want and what they look for, and they really push it. This is a production. Where do you walk out? Step by step. You're going to walk here, turn right. You're going to have a camera in front of your face here. You're going to turn right again, pan. There'll be a camera in front of you, panning over here. Like, that's how it is. It's a production.
And you're going to talk shit here?
Yeah, obviously you're going to crank it to 10 in regards to talking shit, right? And so and that's what we like, and that's fun. I love watching that stuff too as well. But I knew it wouldn't happen in this one, not at that level. I did see some intensity. I mean, I saw Todd Hutchings have some intensity, but when you're losing, it's kind of hard to stay super intense. But after he got pinned, he still stormed off a little bit, was trying to keep it up. But I mean, they were just there to compete. I mean, Todd was getting paid kind of either way. And so in a sense, they were just there to kind of test it out and see if they could beat the guy in front of them, and not really to put on a show for this one. Right. And so the intensity, yeah, but I mean, when it is spaced out that way, it's hard to keep us engaged and exciting and stuff like that on an entertainment, level. But
Okay,
everything goes back into that's what they didn't care about.
Before we get into the rules, I gotta mention the glaring thing we talked about, Uncle John, the best of 5. I didn't realize I don't like it. Maybe Wall has got me into the more, or the ARMWARS in the more, but I didn't like the best of 5. I left wanting.
Look, for me, if it's a super match, I want a race to 4. Race to 4. Whoever gets 4 matches is enough to give us everything that we need to know. Sometimes 5, sometimes 3 matches is enough, but I felt like
3 is not enough.
Sometimes it is.
3 ass whoopings, fine. But sometimes when it's like 2-1 and then the third ends it, you're like, well, I feel like maybe one more would have.
So you don't like them finishing it, John? You don't like them finishing out the series, even if it's over?
See, I just want race to 4, honestly. Like give me the 4. Like if it goes to 7, great. If it's 4-0, don't give me the other 3. Like I don't need to see you get your ass whipped 7 times.
Wait, you're telling me though that when Zoloev top rolled Todd all those times, and you knew that after it was already over that Zoloev was going to hook with him at least once, you knew that was going to happen. You weren't waiting for that. Like, come on, go in. Let's just see what happens when you go.
But what match was that? That was match 4.
That happened once in the whole event, though.
That's all. But I mean, everybody was waiting for that.
Yeah, I agree. But that's 4 matches because
wait. Are you saying that they knew that was going to happen? Because from watching it, I was under the impression Coach Ray started yelling out hook, and then the crowd was chanting hook. You're saying they knew they would hook?
No, but I mean, everybody in the world, literally, we all wanted that match because in our minds, we all saw a hook war. That's like why everybody wanted to see it. Now, on a competitor level, Zoloev making the smart adjustment, top rolling, great, good, you're going to win. But like everybody else in the whole fucking room and on the whole planet wanted to see them hook. That's why we all like tuned in, right? So of course, I mean, Zoloev knows that. He's not an idiot. He knows everybody wanted to see that. He knows Todd was expecting that. So he wanted to make everybody happy. I knew he was gonna go win eventually.
I have a complaint to make.
Okay, what do you got?
Okay, I came on here. I feel like Derek was on one of the shows. Ozzy's been around, and I was like struggling to find a ways to maybe reduce less strap matches. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do a power lock. And I feel like 100% of the feedback that I got was like, that's going to screw me, the top roller. That's going to screw top rollers. That's going to alienate. I felt like I was getting hit by a bunch of woke people like, oh my gosh, equality. I don't feel like I got one perspective like, ooh, that would be awesome as an arm wrestling fan to watch people have a regular straight setup, slip, then have to go to a power lock, see what happens. Then if they slip, then go to the strap. I had this idea, and it wasn't until that event that I was like, oh shit, people actually are asking people to go into hook. Not one person brought up when I've been talking about it for a month that it would be cool to see them have to hook. I'm shocked that like all arm wrestlers like lied or something. It's like, why didn't I not get no feedback? Uncle John, you told me on the phone.
Well, what did I say? It's very specific to these 2 guys.
But
right?
Still, you wanted to see a hook. How come no one's ever brought up a tournament that has people have to hook also?
You would have got a proper hook if it was first to 4 wins. They only went into a start off in a hook because it was a dead rubber. If Zoloev still needed to have another win, Todd Hutchins realized that he just needed to hold on to the side pressure, and they would have gone into a proper competitive hook, not a bit of a dead rubber play around. First to 4. You've got to have first to 4.
So you weren't saying, so you would have been a fine without no hook that event?
Well, put it this way. I believe that if Todd would have picked up another win, let's say it was 2-2 or 3-2 and we were going to best of 4, I don't think we would have seen a hook because Zoloev would have just kept on top rolling because that's what was working for him, right? The only reason that, in my opinion, the reason it went into a hook is because Zoloev allowed it to go into a hook.
You guys are mistaking my point. I don't recall ever hearing the commentator and the crowd chanting hook, hook, hook. Tell me the last event you've seen that happen. It's clearly like spectators would love to see hooks. And
From those two guys.
From those two guys.
No, from just in general. Are you? They can't be the only people you want to see hook. You're telling
those are two
me
like strongest hook pullers like in the world. They're known for hooking. That's
so
their thing.
you're telling me there's no one else in the planet you would love to see hook.
Oh yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, for sure. There's some.
I mean, it just seems weird to me that no one mentioned. Yeah, watching people go into hooks could make it interesting. I'm just shocked no one mentioned it.
But you said the people complaining about your ROTN thing are saying they don't want to hook. Not that they don't want to see hooks.
No, they said Gary Roberts, as a promoter, if you do that, you are effing all top rollers in the world. Like you are screwing them. That's unfair. I would never support an event like that. When I was like, well, wouldn't it be cool to watch? Wouldn't it be cool for spectators? And then here a week later, people are chanting hook. It just seems weird to me. No one said, well, okay, you are screwing top rollers, but it would be cool to watch. I'm just surprised no one brought it up. It seems weird. Everyone gave me opinions as an arm wrestler, but it didn't seem like I got any opinions as like a spectator. What would be cool to watch?
So from my perspective,
like telling me, well, if these guys were not on the planet, like you never want to see someone go into a hook. Like
if there would have been a big uprising after that match of people being like, you know what? We all got to go into the hook more often. That would have been super weird. From my perspective. I would not have.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying, man. You guys, if I know a guy's the champ, he's always the top roller. Top rollers everyone. It's like you're saying you could watch him arm wrestle for his entire career and not wishing once. I wish he could, like Travis Bajan. I wish Travis Bajan would arm wrestle longer than 3 seconds or a second in a hook. Like I love Travis. I love watching him arm wrestle.
You love watching him lose?
We know he has to like flash people.
We all love watching Travis lose.
And if he doesn't flash you, if he gets stopped in a hook, we know 9 times out of 10 he loses the match. Wouldn't you love to see him win some matches in a hook? That's my point. Like,
sure,
having a tournament forces somebody who always top rolls to see if they can win in a hook. I think could be interesting.
So anyways, I think you're right. It would be interesting. I just got hung up on the idea that you were weirded out that nobody mentioned it, but I wouldn't have expected anyone to mention it.
No, so I said, listen, I'm not necessarily caring about arm wrestlers' feelings. I want to create something to be fun to watch. And no one said, well, yeah, that could be fun to watch. Somebody
Gary, it could be fun to watch.
Anyway, Steven Spencer, he says, oh, Gary just wants credit. I just thought it was so cool to have them all chanting hook, 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 hook. We need to see it. And I was like, I get it. They're the best. Anyways.
Daniel Urich, $5 super chat. Aussie arm wrestler just messaged me. He says 100 likes and we will slam a Corona. Cheers, mate. Is that true? We got to get the likes up. We only got 45 likes. We got to
you got to get the likes up. I think
there's only 45 likes in here. I gotta go. I can't even. It feels weird in here. 45 likes.
Gonna rub up on your live stream.
I have a shower with hardly any likes. I'm sure I've got something in the fridge that I can slam down.
Daniel Urich also says, why do we keep ending up back at the power hook talk in the middle of a subject every 10 minutes?
Because I'm going to say it one more time. I tried to talk about having tournaments with hooks and no one thought it was a cool idea. And then I hear chanting hook, 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 hook. And it's like a little confusing to me.
Were they all chanting the 6 people that were in there, or was it just Ray screaming hook?
The whole crowd, go back to it. Ray screams hook. Then you can hear the crowd going hook, hook, hook. I don't recall that ever happening again. Anyways, whatever. You all don't even watch my event because all you people think going into power lock is stupid. Don't turn on my event, okay? Don't
Ladies
turn it on.
and gentlemen,
because
you all go to a dictionary and look up the term flogging a dead horse. And you will see Gary Roberts and this power hook.
Gary, I am ready to come as soon as the States is open. I'm coming to the ROTN, and I'm going to prove that my hook is just as terrible as you all imagine it is.
Whatever.
I'll do it with a
I
smile on my
only
face.
beat the dead horse because I came on 6 times asking about it, and I was beat up. I was messaged, "That's stupid. You're an idiot."
Hey, Lloyd Christmas, a big $20 banger, says Derek is hands down the best arm wrestling instructor and guy to hang out with, hands down. Oh man, that's a lot of hands down. Shout out to Derek's Discord. Holy,
I mean, I can't disagree with him. I can't disagree.
Man, that is the one thing I'm looking forward to. If somehow these borders open up, just having a beer at an arm wrestling table with you guys. Oh my God. You guys will look different when I see your whole body and not just a Zoom screen.
Oh my God.
Oh, beers on me for sure.
You better bring a fucking truck with you, Aussie. That's all I know. You better bring out some tow hitches and shit. This thing, it's crazy right now. It's crazy. Oh wait,
Hey, Evan Burgoyne, come in the show. Okay, I will drop the dead horse. It's dead, but I have an event this Saturday, so I kind of keep plugging that. Anyways,
yeah.
And
You
you
are-
can't,
wait, you are doing the
don't
power
worry.
grip thing, Gary?
yeah,
It is
we're-
going on.
dude. All slips, if you're not intentionally foul, are going to be starting it, are going to lock it up. Power lock.
Lock it up.
And people message me saying, "Oh, nobody's going to come to your tournament. No top rollers are going to come to your tournament because apparently all top rollers are pussies who can't hook."
No top rollers worth their salt is coming to that fucking tournament.
Okay, let's get to the rules. I was watching the chat and a lot of people were like, "Oh, I don't get these rules. I don't understand them. These rules are stupid." It's clearly people bred and born on the production. And like elbow fouls, you couldn't see them. Like the Matt Mask match ended on elbow fouls. It's like I couldn't see the elbow foul. And you see the chat visibly, they're distraught. They don't like it.
Well, let me start here. Coming from a guy who has made multiple videos about rules in arm wrestling and who has spent an exorbitant amount of time arguing with idiots on the internet about the rules and has quoted rules from the WAF rule book to their faces, and they still disagree with me. I would say almost no arm wrestlers have any clue about any of the rules in arm wrestling, and new fans probably even have less of a clue about those rules. So that's probably where we're starting. That's our baseline.
Yep. I agree.
Derek?
No one knows shit about the rules. I agree with John.
There you go.
Well, they change every event. So you've just got to, they just need to, back in the old UFC days, they used to put the rules on the screen before a fight. I think every event needs to do that. Right.
To be fair, though, WAL rules are way crazier than the rules we use at this last match. These are the more average rules you guys see, just so you know, in the real arm wrestling world, fans out there in TV land, these are the more standard rules. The rules that we see at WAL are the rare, crazy rules, just so you know.
But it seems like the audience they're not privy to the normal rules, as you said.
Well, the growing audience right now, I mean, the majority they're on YouTube, obviously. So you're getting a lot of Larry Wheels guys, you're getting a lot of WAL guys that are more recent. So they're used to seeing the PR rules and the WAL rules. I mean, a little more fouls and running fouls and stuff like that. Not like what we actually see.
What event happens? You run a WAF event, everyone's going to jump in the comments and say it was boring, it was garbage. You run an entertaining event, and then all the purists that love the old school WAF rules and things like that are going to say, "Oh, well, this is circus world, this is clown world, this is ridiculous." I think it doesn't matter what event you're going to run. That's just the way. If you're dividing the arm wrestling world, that is probably the number one thing that divides it: rules over entertainment.
Oh yeah, Gary, put your microphone closer to your mouth.
Sorry. It seems to me like as the sport grows, it doesn't feel like the fan base is going to support, quote, the standard rules.
Dude, the arm wrestlers don't even support the standard rules.
But that's going to be the beauty of what's coming for the sport, is the fact that we can just go off and choose. I think what is frustrating arm wrestlers and arm wrestling fans the most is the fact that we have to choose. I think one day, by pure luck, I started off doing a live stream. Then we all went to Uncle John's and watched his live stream. And then at the end of that, Derek did a live stream. We are at a stage now where we have to choose. We never had that. So there's going to be a stage where people that love that old school WAF style, that group of fans are going to go over there. That's fine. The entertainment side of things, we're going to cater for this side of it. When you wake up in the morning and jump on YouTube, you look at how many people are busting out videos now. It is fantastic. Now, that's what's frustrating us all the most. It's like, I don't have 37 hours today to watch every single person's video. And now people are just frustrated that they have to make a choice. Arm wrestling tournament. Holy crap, I've got ROTN on the weekend, but there's something down in over across the land in Pennsylvania that I want to go to in 3 weeks. What one do I choose? It is fantastic for arm wrestling.
It's part of the growing pains at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Herman Stevens said that, like, his recommendation, American Arm Wrestling, the West, has to arm wrestle more under these rule sets. And it's like, I feel like we're at two paths here. We're like, if what Engen is doing, and clearly Igor supports that format, but then you have YouTube channels like Larry, they're going more a little looser route. It's like, which one's going to win out here?
Well, and I think this is a very complicated, in some ways, it's a complicated discussion, because you also have to delineate rules for super match events and rules for tournament, because I like different rules for tournament. I would prefer WAF style rules for tournaments, but I want ARMWARS rules for super matches.
Yeah.
Don't be sucking up to ARMWARS suddenly, because you're out there going, all of a sudden,
race to four, running fouls.
Oh, I feel like I have noticed an uptick the amount of times Uncle John has said the word ARMWARS.
October 1st, Birmingham, UK. Uncle John
be there.
Bradford in an all-out war.
Birmingham is a shithole.
Sunday. Don't miss it.
So regarding these live streams, they really make me nervous, because my event this weekend, I'm like toying with not even live streaming, because it's like, I want to focus on filming it for editing a show. And it's like, do I want to put in the effort to live it? Like, I don't know. I'm scared of the chat. They're so needy.
It can just work with a hard camera on the table. If you're only running one table, I've seen it at a few events, and it can work. If you just want all the matches done, you just stick a hard camera at the table, and then you can live stream it from there. If you are just wanting to show the matches, but if you're wanting that big production level value, then obviously that's going to be a lot harder work.
Daniel Urich says 36 more likes till Aussie slams a Corona.
I don't have a Corona. I might have a Southern Comfort in the fridge. I've got something.
There you go. Lloyd Christmas, $5 says, Aussies, get your stuff together.
Okay, let's go to the first match. Did Matt Mask, were you guys surprised of the outcome?
No. No. Well, it didn't show me that Hermes was completely dominant. Whoever had the buckle was winning. And round one, Matt Mask had the buckle, but unfortunately those micro fouls cost him round one. So then therefore, if you had the buckle side in the strap, the way they both pull, they needed to rise and pop back. Hermes was always going to win that one. He looked strong.
I asked Uncle John about this. Why did the buckle make a difference? Can you explain that?
So the way the buckle sits in when you pull back like on a top roller, it really makes them supinate, which gives up the hand. It was just the way they both utilize that strap. You didn't want to be on the buckle side.
So for me, I agree that there is a level of problem with having the buckle. I'm just not so sure I'm sold on the idea that it's as much as it may some people believe it is, right? Like I don't want to be on the buckle side, but I am not convinced that that match would have ended differently.
But you did. For me, it was just the consistency of how easy they both won. Like Matt Mask got a relatively easy pin when he had the buckle side. Ermies pinned Matt very easily when Matt, when they didn't have the buckle side. The pins were a lot easier. So there was hardly any fight in any of the matches. There wasn't really a battle. So that's why for that match specifically, in my eyes, the buckle mattered. No,
Derek,
sometimes in the strap, it doesn't matter.
Derek Smith, when you're giving your point, I don't recall back in the earlier days when we met, people making such a big deal about this buckle business. Can you enlighten me?
Okay, there was a severe lack of information flow back in the day we were arm wrestling, and the buckle made a bigger difference back then before the Ferris strap for sure. People just had no fucking idea what they were doing in the strap back then, Gary, so they didn't say shit about it. That's my opinion on that part. Now, in regards to the
but arm wrestling has existed since the 70s. Why did they not know what they were doing?
Information on YouTube has not been around that long. That we have not been watching tutorials from Devin and everybody on how to put on a strap and what makes a difference and why having a buckle back in the day made a huge difference. It really did, as far as just the tightness, like Aussie arm wrestlers talking about, but it also made a big difference on when it would bite on the back of your hand. You wouldn't get drive on your side of the strap if you had the buckle until after the other guy would have drive on his strap. It was a significant advantage back then if used correctly. There was guys I would arm wrestle that were monsters inside a strap, especially if you had the buckle. It was like night and day difference if you had the buckle or if you didn't against certain people. They knew how to manipulate it really well. But it wasn't widespread. There wasn't as much knowledge about the game back then as there is now. But in regards to the Mask and Hermes match, I don't think right now I'm more on John's level as far as nowadays. If you have the buckle, just rise against the buckle as they tighten it. I mean, that's all you got to do to make it even. I mean, the strap bites the same way no matter who has the buckle nowadays. Just as they're tightening, all you got to do is rise your webbing as they pull the buckle down on your side. And then you're good. Then it's pretty much an even buckle or even strap, in my opinion.
Do you recognize this, Derek Smith?
What is that? Is that a Velcro strap, Gary?
Yes.
I fucking knew it. So
I was toying with the Velcro strap 2 days ago, and to apply it, we were going cross, like your webbing here. Instead of pulling down, the Velcro just laid across. We didn't have to pull down. If anything, you pulled this way and then laid. It seemed more fair to me. I am shocked that during these educational years, you and your compatriots completely dropped the Velcro.
I have a Velcro strap in my practice bag. We never use it. I've never been part of a tournament that's used it. I've never actively arm wrestled in a Velcro strap before. Yeah, no, just never took off.
I got news for you, bitches.
There's a lot of things arm wrestling like that just got shut down that kind of make logical sense that we just never approached because it's such an old sport. But I don't think that the strap had that big of a difference in the Matt Mask Hermes match. I think that the bigger takeaway for me, there was two things that we were looking at in the Matt Mask and Hermes match. One was a final to see if the round two between Matt Mask and Hermes to see if it was a fluke, if Matt abused WAL rules so bad that Hermes couldn't. That's the only reason he won, and to see their matchup. But the other thing, and the bigger thing, I think people watch that match to see is where the fuck was Hermes in relation to Vitaly Letin and all these other things. Everybody wants to see what level Hermes is at. More so, I think, than an actual match between them. Now, in regards to that, I think that the fact that Matt got one pin on Hermes meant a lot, meant a hell of a lot. It went in my rankings. It took Hermes from a potential 6th place ranking to a little bit back, or Matt Mask is up at Vitaly Letin's potential level. Which one is more likely? I think that it's more likely that Hermes is down a couple rungs on the ladder, right? And I think that's the biggest takeaway from that match.
I can't remember if it was Ryan Bowen, but I think it was Ryan who mentioned that sleep could have hurt Matt Mask not having adjusted.
Oh yeah,
was it
for all those guys, for all the travelers?
I mean, how much did guys who had to travel over there losing did not acclimating could have played a role?
Well, that's a slippery conversation, Gary. And then we talk about the excuses, and we talk about taking Sarah's hand and letting her go into a hook. Well, let's talk about what actually happened on the table. Right?
Those are the facts. Those are the facts. I felt Sarah's hand buckle, and I went inside.
I would say what actually happened. We always go by what
Hashtag
actually
facts,
happened.
bitches.
And what actually happened with the Ready Goes. I mean, because who knows what Hermes ate for breakfast that morning, and who knows, like there's a million other things we could talk about. But what actually happened with the Ready Goes is Hermes looked pretty dominant, but not dominant in one of the rounds where Matt was able to beat him. And could Matt beat Levon like that, or Vitaly, is the question I asked myself. Is, do I really think Matt could do that to the Levon or Vitaly, or would it be like a clear 6-0 sweep? I think it'd be a 6-0 sweep, which makes me think that Hermes is not as strong as I previously thought.
Uncle John, did you read Lloyd Christmas? Aussies, get your stuff together.
Yep. Lloyd Christmas also with another $5 saying, Gary, WTF.
Which part? What is, listen, bitches, what is your problem with me? What is your problem with me? Hey, because all you new people don't understand, here's what I watched. ROTN. After your strap is put on, it's a foul if you mofos lift you should not be able to lift your elbow off the table to try to gain advantage. This crap where you can grab and manipulate, this is all weird shit to me, man. I saw so much stuff that's like, the strap. Why are you allowed to lift your hand up and drive your hand higher in the strap after it's on? Why are you allowed to do this? In WAF rules, you're allowed to do that?
If you're not in a ref script.
Yeah, if you're not in a ref script, then there's really no...
That feels like cheating to me.
Well, you guys talk amongst yourselves and I'll...
It's just, I think if you for an entertainment sort of view, just start every match in a ref script, because not one single match started in a grip. They all grip. And when one person's confident, then that plays in the other person's mind and things like that. Just start every match in a ref script. That's where they all went, which you take away. You could have taken away at least an hour off that event and still got the same results.
For entertainment value, yeah. But
for entertainment, yes.
As a competitor, though, like, it takes away some of the gamemanship, of like jockeying for position and not having the referees and the rules dictate who's a better arm wrestler. Like actually letting the competitors decide it between themselves, going for grips.
Yeah, it's a good indication, because I know sometimes when I jostle for grip, it gives me an indication where I think the pull is going to go and where he wants it. I try and use that as a bit of a heads up. But yeah, that was just purely on entertainment value, because none of them started in an agreed grip. So I was just like, oh, just...
So,
Jerry, hold on. So nothing on the rising up while you're fighting. That's fine. But this is the 2020, the newest updated one. I don't remember this rule being in here. 8.1.8 in the foul section. 30 seconds of rest is permitted after a foul. So there is a 30-second break built in after every foul. It's actually in the rules.
Wow.
No way. Eat it. No way.
8.1.8.
Dude, can I tell
8.1.8.
Can I tell you, ROTN, I'm still fine-tuning the fouls, but in the finals, you're going to receive a delay a game if you are off to the side trying to rest your arm. If you're not actively getting a grip, I want us proceeding forward. Not delay. So here's the thing. I feel fortunate that we get to watch these streams, and they're probably not adding up the minutes every 30 seconds here or there when you walk away. Yes, it draws it out. I do believe that these live streams could be the future of capturing a bigger audience. And so I am going to experiment with running the ship tighter. It's like, so I'm going to experiment with that, but I don't expect other people to do it. But perhaps you lose some gamesmanship of all that. But I feel like we live in a world where the audience doesn't have they can't pay attention long enough. What do you call it? Like, It's
attention
weird.
span. We
Yeah.
don't have an attention span at all.
Yeah.
Sometimes when all your friends send you a video or something and you're like 9 minutes, that's like forever. Can't do. I'm not watching all of that. Yeah.
So the arm wrestling enthusiasts, you're the captured audience. Yes, you're going to watch it all. You're good. But if we want to break through and have 1 million people watching, you're gonna, and you want to live stream it, it could behoove you to work on some of the running a little tighter ship. Anyways.
How crazy are we willing to go to get it entertaining though? At what point are we gonna start taking away from
Well,
the sport
so
in
that's
order to
what
make
I
it
want.
entertaining?
Oh, so that's why I wanted to get your point coming back to it. If you were in a position like Ing and Tersey where you have you're promoting this big thing, are you falling more towards WAF tight or wall entertainment? You can pick anything you want. Derek Smith, what does he pick?
I sit down with Bob Brown and someone that has been around for a long enough time and spent 40 years pulling their hair out, thinking about these rules and fine tuning why they need to be in a certain place. And then I ask that person to look through a filter of entertainment with me and help me find a happy medium where people are happy. And I trust that Bob's been around way longer than me and he knows more. He's thought about all these aspects already. And I kind of have him explain it to me and I help him write a new set of rules, which are entertaining and make a lot of sense. And then maybe get rid of a little bit of the bullshit in between. And then that's how I come up with my set of rules somewhere in the middle.
You know, it would be great if there already was something in the middle. If only there was a league.
Oh,
I
let me
agree.
guess.
I agree, but I don't think there has been. I think that as WAL, Travis, and Devin got a hold of that and just manipulated that shit to make it nice.
I agree.
And then with a bunch of entertainment value, or the complete opposite end of the spectrum, not worrying about entertainment at all, and it's just pure, just for the competitors mostly.
So yeah, I was talking about this with Bob Brown because you mentioned earlier, I think Uncle John, or on the phone, they laxed up the rules or they expanded the rules a little bit for entertainment, but then chose to just ignore them.
Yes,
outright.
In my opinion, WAL's problem is not actually the rules. It's their hesitancy to enforce them consistently over time.
Yeah. Like Bob Brown and I were talking about the elbow pad, and it was like, okay, to make things interesting, you go 2 inches back, but then it's like, okay, you gave a little bit more, but then you start to allow people to not even be floating off. It's like you already went 2 inches, and now you're allowing it to float even further. It's like,
I agree. We got some super chats. We got a bunch of support coming in. Thank you guys so much. We got 79 likes going on right now. Lloyd Christmas a little while ago said, Gary, stop. I don't know what that was in reference to, but most likely something you were ranting about. The Swayze Express says, how about dipping hands in pine sap? That's one way to do it. That might be epic. Lloyd Christmas also says, $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Mr. Christmas. Gary, I'm calling Travis. Go to sleep. I love you.
Oh, shit.
And then Cooper Maxwell, my main man, $4.99 says Arm Wars is the answer.
Oh, shit.
So I got to read 2 that are not super chats. How is it that Gary always seems to suck the energy right out of the room?
I think Gary is the one giving us energy tonight.
Yeah.
Brendan Daniel says, lesson numero uno, never super chat if Gary is talking. All I got to tell you 2 mofos, if I get my wishes and I get a lot of FU money, I'm going to do some crazy shit and I'm going to do things just to piss some of you people off because some of you people are cranky little entitled biatches.
The revenge event. Can't wait for that to come on board. That would be very exciting. Where all rules are set to troll people on the internet. Oh, what an event.
So I would like, because last week we had Bob Brown on, we've had a few people ask Bob Brown. Bob Brown and I spoke. We're cool. He came on hot because he felt I was a little bit disrespectful to Leonard Harkless. Given the fact that elbow position, if you watched last week, is so rare, he was like, he felt that was a little bit hard on Leonard, but I did give props. I think Leonard is the, quote, best ref in the world. That's what I mean. He's been around long. He knows what he's doing. He's handled every situation. I've seen arm breaks that would cause any grown strong man to run away screaming. And Leonard Harkless walks right into the fire and just grab, boom, bam, bam. And he handles it like a pro. That's just jaw dropping. You're like, he's the man. So if anyone thought I was dissing Mr. Leonard, I do have the respect for mad props for what the man has done in the sport of arm wrestling. Okay. Bam. What's next?
Next match.
Oh, is it Ingen Terzi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he second match?
I don't know if that was next, but
That wasn't next.
what have we talked about? We talked about Mask.
We just talked about Matt Mask. And
Was it Hutchings right after that, or was it?
No, Hutchins wasn't
I think
till
it was
later.
Engen. I think Engen
Yeah,
came
yeah.
on. Engen and Arta.
I thought it was cool. Ingen Terzi won those first two matches over. I thought the younger dude. It's so cool to see the old veteran beat up on a young powerhouse, strong looking dude. And unfortunately, Ingen hurt himself. I just read on his Facebook that he said if he lost that super match, that he would retire. So I think Ingen, you got to come back. You clearly still have something in the tank, barring recovering from your injury.
It's crazy that he faked that injury just to get off the table and take his two wins and go home. That's wild. Ingen, why would you do that? I'm just
when
kidding.
I think of Engen Terzi, I think of a quitter. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Ingen, I'm joking. I love you. I'm just kidding.
In Ingen, I think it was that second match, even though he won, he went right to grabbing it and rubbing it. It was like he felt something.
Look, Engen is probably the most dedicated human. Yeah, one of the most dedicated humans there's ever been to arm wrestling. Engen is not. Engen strikes me and gets me flustered in multiple different ways, but I never. My words are at a loss right now, but I would never pick Engen as a guy who would do anything at all underhanded in order to get out of a match or like it's just
he
not.
pulled 2 more rounds with a torn bicep.
Yeah.
There was no faking about that.
Yeah,
Every time there's a match on, like I'm still arguing with people that people say Michael Todd threw the match against Devon just to get a quick payday, and it just baffles me that these people are finally making money and finally getting primetime viewers that they would go out and just fake it. It blows my mind that people think that.
Well, the other thing that I was really happy about with Engen, obviously he ended up technically losing because he had to forfeit because of the injury. But we did see this match, and Arter won 3-2. It was a great match. It was wars, but Arter won. And clearly Engen is just able to see the power and the abilities of people. And once he feels them, he knows what to do, right? He knew what to do. He did exactly what he needed to do. He showed it to us multiple times. It's just that the hardware wasn't able to hold up.
So question, it's clearly Engen. This guy, he's one of the pinnacle dudes, the utmost respect for the sport. Like Uncle John said, the man he takes his business seriously, right?
Too seriously, in my opinion. But
too serious. So I'm curious, Ingen Terzi will always be a WAF rule dude, correct? He will never go entertainment or even, let's say, add a running foul situation, right? He
is very WAF, pro WAF.
Yeah. It seems weird to me that we have to be one or the other. Like, why can't you be WAF but add running fouls?
Some people can, some people cannot.
Yeah.
We have a super chat, Lloyd Christmas. He's donated a few bucks to us tonight. I'm not sure if he's friend or foe, but thank you for your $5. He says, Gary, I will smash you. I do appreciate your commitment to arm wrestling. And since he said he was going to call Travis, I must know you, Lloyd. Who are you? Private message me because it's eating me. I want to know.
Lloyd is my buddy Xavier. He's on Discord all the time. I talked to him. I literally just got done talking to him and hopped on here.
You know who Lloyd Christmas is?
Yeah. He's on.
Oh.
He's in Discord all the time.
Okay.
With a big group. A lot of the guys in the chat are on Discord. They're my Discord guys.
Thank you
Hey
very
guys,
much for
Discord guys, say something about Discord in the chat. Show yourselves.
Wayne Withers says, Gary, don't piss off the trolls. Wayne, you're awesome. I look forward to seeing you again at an event someday. Beast, Mr. Wayne Withers. It's fun to play with the trolls, but I definitely can get a little too into the and I notice an uptick of trolls beating up on me a little bit. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Oh, one of the
They get
things
you.
that we talked about earlier, Gary, that Brendan Daniels just brought up. He says, well, WAF isn't super match based. That could be why. That's another good point. The WAF rules were not created for super matches, right? The WAF rules were created to get through a ass load of arm wrestling matches in a quick, concise way that allows
I don't
a referee
think it's
to
quick
just
and
like
concise.
boom, boom, boom. But it's working for the world level competitions, right? It works at Worlds for what they.
Yeah, but if you truly wanted to get through all the matches quicker, you would go to ref script each and every time. Like, they'll.
Yeah, but they don't necessarily focus everything on quickness. They still want the people like Engen really still want the full expression, which includes that initial setup.
Okay, so I don't mean to jump ahead, but there's one of the lighter weight girls matchups. It was 3 hours into the stream. They walk up. Derek Smith, pay attention. They walk up.
I'm reading the chat. I got my laptop next to me. I'm reading the chat.
I can't. So one girl, another girl, and they're just gripping, pulling, and they're just going back and forth, just doing this. And it's like for the whole 30 seconds or what it is. And then they're like, it's like, why not just go to ref script every time?
Well,
Are we
each
really-
each girl was trying to get her better grip, and neither one would agree with it.
Right. So is that game? Is that building tension for the audience? Like,
They
is
didn't
that-
care about entertainment value. Back to that point.
Right. But what are we doing in that moment?
The
Wasting
one
time.
girl, Ezra Kiraz, is a hook puller. She was trying to get a deeper grip. The other girl was a top roller, and she was trying to not let Ezra get a deep grip. They jockeyed for position, and then they couldn't agree, so they went to ref script.
Yeah.
But per Uncle John's point, WAF is meant to get through hundreds of matches. That seems
Well,
like we don't
but
need that.
it's not an either or. It's not an either or, right? They made the rules in such a way that the rules represent what they think arm wrestling should represent, but also facilitate the ability to go through tournament style arm wrestling in a way that has been functional for the WAF world tournaments. I don't believe WAF style rules are the best for super matches.
Yeah, no. They have a
a
hardcore set of rules, and they enforce them, especially at WF. They foul people out so fast. There's no bullshit. You walk up there, if you don't get a grip, foul. If you don't do this, foul, get off the stage. Next. They will just foul out. So they're very hardcore refs, and they have a lot of rules, so they can be hardcore. And if you don't, there's no bullshitting allowed. If you don't try to get a grip, they'll foul you. Like, everything is quick. They do it quick, and they're really hardcore about it. So I know they have a lot of rules, but they don't mess around. There's no give in WAF, real WAF. For these super matches, though, they try to give a little, let them walk away, let them bullshit a little bit, just to try to not have to foul people out for a super match. A little different.
If we were to project and see where the sport is going, where it can go, I feel like WAF could be in danger, or IFA WAF could be in danger if all these YouTube channels, Layer Wheels, Wall comes back, what Engen's doing. It's like this could. I don't know. I feel like it's one of those things where if you don't adapt to the changing times, you die. You know what I mean? You guys don't see that happening?
No, I don't, because I don't see Engen doing it for the money. I see Engen just wanting to put on.
Engen's one of 20 people doing these.
I think because arm wrestling's growing, and by the time we get to that stage, like I was saying earlier, there'll be that split divide. They'll have the people that enjoy that type will go over there and commit to that and watch that. And the people that love the entertainment value will just come over here. It'll grow enough so they'll both be able to survive.
Yeah, but
WWE
people still
versus Olympic wrestling.
People
I mean,
still
why
have
do you have to choose?
I mean, people still have to go to the tournaments. if they're like you said, if so much is going on and you can't go to every single event, and there's like Scott Wynn, he posted on his Facebook, what if I were to post 20 to 50K tournaments every 3 months for like life? It's like, if all that stuff was happening, it was like there was big prize money tournaments and big super match and Larry Wheels and all this stuff. I feel like winning a world title could be not as important to the arm wrestlers.
Well, yeah, if there's money, we'll pretty much do anything. If they want us to come and arm wrestle with their pants off, then we'll probably do that too. Yeah. As long as there's enough money in it.
And then I'll go try to win a world championship after I'm done with that.
Yeah.
I got to put my kid down. Can you hold down the fort, gentlemen, until I return?
Good time for a break here. We got a couple super chats. Lloyd Christmas, absolutely killing it tonight. $20 super chat. He says, I'm here for Derek. Derek brings it. Derek is bringing it.
What is Discord, Derek?
It's a live chat room where we talk all day long about arm wrestling. And there's a voice chat. So we're literally talking, like we're on the phone. There's like 9, 10 of us in a voice chat, all just talking at the same time like this. Just about arm wrestling all day, every day.
Nice. Yeah, Lloyd Christmas again. Gary, same guy who you've been talking to. I believe you are one of the best to ever show us. High praise. High praise indeed.
Is that real Cobra in the chat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cobra, what's up, bud? In Evan Burgoyne.
Evan Burgoyne too. Daniel Urich says the live call-in show needs to be renamed to Strap and Setup Talk Only Show and ignore everything else going on in arm wrestling. That's not the worst. It's not the worst I've ever heard. Evan Burgoyne though says anyone that is tired of setup and strap talk will remain amateur indefinitely. It is where matches are won and lost. Evan, that's a secret. Evan, shh.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it, Evan. I remember when I thought about that when I was out of the top 10 rankings in North America, left-handed. I used to think like that, but I love being able to poke him like that. And it's my favorite thing.
Oh my goodness!
Only reason I'm happy about having that rank, so I can talk shit out.
I love it. Okay, so Hutchings Zoloev, we kind of touched on that a little bit. Like Zoloev, he had what he needed. He had the top roll. He
got performance of the night. I thought the way he adapted, what I absolutely loved is he did those 2 top rolls and absolutely got a handle of Todd Hutchings. And then in the 3rd round, Todd was able to finally hold it and bring it back over. Clearly, Todd Hutchings was going for the strap. What I love from Zoloev, and I was screaming it, he tricked me, he tricked the world, rubbing his arm and things like that. I was like, oh my God, he's gassed. So then he baited Todd Hutchings in, that Todd was able to just slip instead of fighting for that side pressure. He baited Todd Hutchings that you're just going to get an easy strip and go to straps. So Todd went back there and Zoloev just caught him and went bang. And then I thought it was a brilliant performance.
Yeah. I mean,
if you're going for the win as a competitor, it was a great adjustment by Zoloev. Not what we wanted, but it was a great adjustment by Zoloev.
Yeah, it was very anticlimactic from a spectator point of view. I 100% agree with that.
And then by the time he hooked, his pronator was already shot from sitting down there, so he couldn't pronate into the hook, and he, of course, lost the hook. It sucked.
Jamie Sheldon with the best point of the night. He says, I totally could have out-angled Zoloev and Zilla right now.
Yeah, he could. Jamie's over 200 pounds right now.
I know.
That's it.
Good. Looking strong.
What was after that? Was it Sarah?
Yeah, Sarah. I think Sarah was before the Todzilla match.
So Sarah and Irina Drieva.
Yeah,
right.
Like a left hand.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. So they had a right and a left. I was very impressed with all hail Sarah Bachman. Looks to be back, but I did not expect Irina to give as good of a performance as she did. I mean, she did look fairly powerful.
My main thing that really threw me off is Irina would pull, go sit in the corner, and then there was some girl just standing next to her, and then Irina would just sit here slumped in her chair, waiting for the next round. Usually you got someone on there and you're really taking your arm. And she just sat there, and I was like screaming at the girl behind, like, help her out. And then an hour later, she jumps on the table and put the girl behind Arena and puts in an incredible performance. I was like, why weren't you helping Arena out during the match?
There can only be one. There can only be one.
Yeah. I just really felt bad because everyone, Sarah Backman's worldwide. We all love Sarah, and Sarah's, this, that, the other. And then you went over to Arena and it was like,
can I just real quick? We were talking about this because I had, when I watched these matches, I was on Discord. We were in a live chat. And we were all just watching it together, talking. And the guy that was in Sarah's corner, her boyfriend.
Yeah,
bro. Someone teach this guy how to massage her forearm, please. If I watch him squeeze her arm anymore, I'm gonna lose my shit. He just kept squeezing it, and then I saw him touch her off shoulder, and like he was just squeezing around, and I was just like, oh no. It's like,
well, what can you do? I don't know. Does he arm wrestle at all?
I don't think he's an arm wrestler. I don't think so. I was just like cringe. I was cringing a little bit on the Sarah's corner work.
Beautiful. I'm going to have to tag because Gary has just jumped in. So I have to jump off, gentlemen. Always love having a chat with you. Hopefully I get the announcement today that the gyms are going to be back open on Friday. But absolutely love that you four are in there. And probably the best time to go as well, because you guys are going to spend another 25 minutes talking about Velcro straps. So...
Oh, Jesus.
Anyways, guys, I love you all so much. Always, I really appreciate you let a guy from Melbourne in his kitchen come on the show and have a chat about arm wrestling and not boot me off the show. So really love it.
See you.
Everyone in the chat.
You, buddy.
Speak to you soon.
Ozzy, thanks for joining. Hey, I just want the community to know all you people are haters. I ain't going nowhere. I bringing Velcro back. You can all suck it.
I'm starting a drinking game in the chat, by the way, that every time straps come up, you have to drink.
Hey.
So everyone's going to be dead.
Yeah. So again, if you guys are local, June 19th, gonna do some cool shit. I think I will try to broadcast. It'll be more behind the scenes. Like, it's not my show. I want to cut it. I want to make a show. You know what I mean? But Cobra Rhodes, man.
Go, bro.
Where's the hashtag Gary Roberts rocks? He loves Uncle John. Uncle John's #1 fan, I think, is Cobra Rhodes.
He gave me a hashtag Derek.
Yeah, that's what's up, Gary. Hugging up, man. Don't worry about that.
I thought we were tight, bro.
We are, baby. Tight as a Wall Street hooker. You know
that. Have we got? So the girls' matches were before Toddzilla.
We were just talking about Sarah's performance and that it was
knockout performance. Her husband's a former wrestler guy. I don't know if he's still active, but the kid she's married to now is a WWE offshoot guy.
Oh, that was the last guy. The new guy.
The last guy was a rodent, the bodybuilder.
I gotta tell you, after watching Sarah, definitely intimidated by her hook, but her outside game, I still feel like I could.
Still looking for flaws and gaps in Sarah's game, so we can attack her.
Right.
I can still feel like I could.
Intergender champion Gary Roberts.
Feel like I could pop it.
Jesus.
Hey, Sarah made Gary shit in a diaper, boy.
Here's the better question, I think, about Sarah. Is Sarah versus Gabby the match that we need next?
It seems like the community wants that. That's the one.
Yeah. But the question is, has she closed the gap enough?
Gabby?
She looked pretty dominant over there. I didn't know the girl that she pulled. That Gabby girl's a special person.
I mean, dude, I've been watching what Gabby's doing on the internet. She crushing it. I'd like to see it. I'll take the winner.
Hey, Derek, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, man.
I'm doing great. Cobra, how are you, my man?
I'm a blessed kid. Uncle John, man. Uncle John, I'm so thankful to you. Thank you so much.
My brother.
Yeah, man. Uncle John, cool as fuck, y'all. All y'all.
Cobra, When we hung out, you had a busy summer. Is it still a busy summer?
Yeah, very busy summer. Yeah, Uncle John and I will be announcing a few things in about 5-6 weeks. Uncle John.
I believe so.
Yeah, about 5-6 weeks. We'll be doing some live feeds from some really cool locations. Uncle John and I are gonna do some stuff for the people. Just trying to get my page monetized for me, you know.
Go to Cobra Road's channel and subscribe.
Where are we at? How many? Where's he at right now? How many?
So he's over 2,000 subs. We're just waiting on watch time.
Oh, gotcha. Those hours live streams. Those live streams.
Yeah, we did. We did the very first live stream on Cobra's channel just last week. So we're going to be doing some more of those. Good stuff.
Can I just chime in another plug? I love that all you people doing big shit for arm wrestling continue to go with the super match format, because it leaves the door wide open for a guy like me to do my thing. So thank you very much for sticking with super matches. The thing about when I watch that big ass card, I just think, if you had money where you could duplicate a big show every 6 weeks, could you keep filling it with big cards? Wouldn't you run out eventually?
You wouldn't want to do a show every 6 weeks.
If you had
paper.
If you were a business, is there enough high level arm wrestling matches for a business?
You would need to get in the business.
If you have that kind of paper, you throw 4 major shows a year with qualifiers in between and really make your money on your merch.
Yeah. Because that's right. I mean, obviously, like these big high profile matches, but then what's next? Like, there's not a long list of people that can compete with Sarah or Gabby. True or false? Like,
I'd beat them both.
So Gary.
yeah. At some point, you're calling Gary Roberts.
I mean, there's not a long list, but there is a list of others really dangerous women from the East who can compete.
What's her name from Lithuania? The one that Gabby always went to the finals against. I never know her name.
Is that Makiva?
Dalia Netanyahu?
Is that really her name? I don't know her name, but she's a beast. She usually would beat Gabby, I think, Lefty in the finals every year, and then finally Gabby got her first win on her, I think, last World Championships.
Was it Dalia Netanyahu, Salas's girl? Gary, do you see Salas in Chicago? No Lithuanians?
Do you know I am Lithuanian? Jankauskis.
And that wasn't the question. Steve.
My great-grandparents. Well, I was going to get to. I have no connection to any current Lithuanians, but my great-grandparents are 100% Lithuanian. I just would like to drop that little nugget. So that means I've got some of the arm wrestling blood. Bam!
Didn't nobody say that, Gary? That's blasphemy. Listen.
Crack.
Have you? Oh my Lord. Have you seen Salas or Dahlia, the Chicago folks? The reason for that training center at the university? Have you been to the training center at the university?
No. Listen.
You can't answer a question. You're gonna make me Bob Brown this stuff, man.
No. I'm just saying. I'm just saying I've been scared.
Have you been?
No. I've done nothing here,
Illinois,
bro.
Chicago,
because of the pandemic,
center.
dude. I've driven to Costco.
Yes
I have done nothing. No, I've been nowhere. I don't know anything.
Mike, drop. I'm out. He walked out. Gary, all these guys are leaving your shop.
Dude, Bob Browning Gary is now a verb. It's a verb now. You're going to get Bob Brown.
Here's facts. There's so many people to visit, but every time I visit, I got to film and I'm already behind. I'm trying to produce. It's like, I have people saying, where's that? You came to practice 3 months ago, 4 months ago. You haven't aired that. It's like, I'm scared to go places because I'm so behind. So no, Cobra, haven't done anything. There's so many cool people I'd love to film, but I'm just behind on content. I'm embarrassed to post things that I haven't posted. Anyways, now I feel like Cobra, he's always busting me a little bit. It's fine. It's fine.
Cobra loves you. You know Cobra loves you, but he loves to bust your balls too.
The greatest thing Cobra Rhodes could do, honestly, is show up at my event on Saturday and easily qualify into the final and make it interesting. That's because I'm a good show. He would love, you know, he don't even have to win. He'll get into the final and make it interesting. And so come on out, Cobra. Hey, I want to get to the Todd Hutchins because the missus is going to be calling me soon.
Oh yeah.
Let's go, Todd Hutchins. What were your guys' picks before? And sum it up.
My pick was Todd originally, mostly because it very, very difficult to call this match, but I went with Todd Hutchins because I like Todd Hutchins. And I thought it was pretty close to 50-50 with the data we had beforehand.
D Smith?
I had Zoloev only because I heard Zoloev was coming in extra heavy, and they always had tight matches before. And we, like everybody else, we assumed it was all going to be a hook match. And I was like, well, if he's that much heavier than he was last time, maybe I gave the edge to Zoloev, assuming they were going to hook.
My first impression was I've just been watching Todd on the internet, and he seemed slightly smaller than I can remember the previous matches. So I thought he was going to be a little bigger. And for all the professional arm wrestler I've been watching who are pro slippers, it seemed like Todd was in no hurry to escape. He stayed in the match even at a loss, and the chat was surprised he wasn't more attempting to manipulate that, get into the strap business. What do you guys say about that?
I was a little bit surprised that after the first match that the second match was, or wait, how did it go? He lost the first match and then did he win the second match on fouls? Is that how it was? Because he won one match on fouls and then he won
the first couple matches he was losing his hand and slipping low.
I think my thought was the first one I was like, oh Jesus, Zoloev in that top roll. Well, now Todd will just pull back as hard as he can and slip, so at least we get the straps. And then he didn't do that.
Right.
I feel like Todd, if he would have known, and this sounds dumb, but the first round he tried to hold on. He thought they were going to hook, I think, and he's like, "Oh shit!" And he tried to hold on a little bit too much. And then the second round, it was a little bit too much. He was trying to. I think he's like, "Okay, well, maybe if I get a little deeper and I can sink it in." And it wasn't. And then it wasn't until the third round Todd was finally like, "Fuck this! All right." And that's when he started going flop. But you start to see that Zolo was gassing. If it would have went for some reason one more round, I think Todd could have won the entire steer match. Zolo's top roll was gassing. It was gassing quick.
This is why I walked away going, ooh, I don't love the 3-5. I needed a little more here.
For that one. But I mean, he played the rules the right way. I mean, he played the rounds the right way. He won it.
Yeah. Hey, we got to talk about this Thomas Emilio Silva Ebensberger with 3,900 CLP.
$3,900.
$3,900 CLP dollars, whatever that means.
I'm doubling the ROTN budget.
He says a hybrid vendetta/tournament would be amazing. Top 5, you know the lineup in advance. Promotion. Go against all twice. 3 points win. 1 point for a draw. Top 3 and 2 semi, then final against top 1. That's a lot of working parts, but it's different.
If I've learned anything about trying to do this ROTN, it's that there's not enough experimentation in the sport. Not enough. Who
wants to put in months of work just to experiment something that might fail?
It's so fun to think of little nuanced differences. Like, I mean, it's so fun that it's either like super match or double elimination tournament. It's like there's no. I mean, there's
round robins.
Okay, round robins. It's like I just think that's like. There could be a little more creativity in the sport of arm wrestling. I don't know about this guy's format. I'd have to think about that. I mean, there definitely could be something to a hybrid, but man, the thing for me is to have a set lineup. I feel like that makes promoting a million times more difficult. I used to remember the Peter Milano days with the NAA challenge, and I would talk to him days leading up and be like, I have the super match fall out. This guy backed out, and trying to fill in cards. And it's like, man, that sounds like hard work. I want no part of it. No part of match setting up. Like,
yeah, well, it's hard to set up matches, especially now because we don't have any data. We don't know.
Yeah.
Like, just shooting in the dark at this point.
Yeah, like your match with this dude in UK, we could be promoting it for months, and then something happens, and you don't get over there, and the match falls apart.
That'll never happen. Nope. I will destroy COVID myself.
Derek Smith. I don't know if you caught the early part of the show, but I said Uncle John was being set up. They picked a ringer to wring his neck. This guy is huge. I'm concerned about Uncle John's health here.
And I told Gary that I am huge.
Yeah. That's good, dude. It's better coming as an underdog anyway.
Yeah. You weren't here when they were chanting hook, hook, hook. Were you on this? I can't remember if you'd come on yet, Derek. When we finally got to see Zolev and Hutchins hook.
I wasn't in here with you guys during the thing.
Yeah. So what were your thoughts about that?
I wanted to see them hook.
You knew that was going to happen?
No, I mean, I just knew that. Why not? Zolev won the match, and he knows everybody wants to see him hook. They're obviously fucking chanting it. And everybody knows that's why everybody wanted like that. Why they flew them together. That's why we raised the money for that match specifically. That match took more money than any of the other matches. Like because we want to see a hook war. He's not dumb. He knows that. All their matches have been hook wars. So he's like, all right, I won. Let's give them what they want. And so I just knew it was coming.
If they didn't hook, you would have been disappointed.
Not disappointed. I mean, good for him as a competitor. It just as a someone watching it and wanted to see who would have won a hook. But by then the hook was skewed anyway. He was his pronator was already taxed. So who knows if they would have went hook at the beginning, what it looked like. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we all wanted was a hook in the first round.
And Todd Hutchins definitely looked awesome in the hook.
He always does, but so does Zolev.
Yeah. So you weren't surprised on that match?
I was surprised at Zolev top rope for sure. I did not see that coming.
Yeah. Yes, I agree with that 100%.
Do you guys want to talk about the other matches? Herman Stevens, Tony Kotowski.
The biggest like oh shit moment for me was that Tony Kotowski held Bozhidar in a hook for however long he did. That even though I know he lost it, that was like, wow, good for Tony. That's awesome. And he's not even usually a deep inside hook puller. Usually he likes a little hand control. And he was able, and Bozhidar was like, what the hell? Like he looked a little shocked too that Tony was able to hit the brakes on him. And Bozhidar is all inside, supposedly untop rollable in all of that side of the world. And Tony held him for a little while. Like, that was super impressive for me. And then I was really shocked that Ezra Kirez lost her match too. I thought she was going to win.
I think that the Bozhidar match was really good for Bozhidar to get him more exposure in North America because Bozhidar is a bad MF. And now a lot more people in North America know that he's a bad MF. Yeah.
I had Tony losing that match before pretty bad. I thought, oh man, I don't think he's going to hold up to him. But that's why I was shocked. I thought Bozhidar was going to have a relatively easy match.
Right.
Is this a way of the future that once a year or twice a year we'll do this? Will they ask the community, who do you want to see? The community puts up some money, flies them together. We see a show. Is that a sustainable approach? I mean,
I think asking the community to fund it may or may not be.
What do you mean? Oh, you're saying asking the community just to pick the match.
Yes.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Everyone could fill out a little graph.
If the event was a success, if you liked what went on, at least the matches, you'd like to see those matchups, and it actually happened, then I don't know, but I'm really hardcore arm wrestling too, so I keep that in mind. But I'd be prone to throwing $10. Oh, they're doing it again this year? Okay, that's cool. Let's get some good matchups. Throw $10. But I'm hardcore dedicated to this. So,
do we know what the final count was on the GoFundMe?
Their goal was 10. I think they just shy of 10 or hit 10.
I thought the goal was 20.
It was listed at 20, but really they were looking for 10.
Oh, put up 20, want 10. Got it.
Yeah,
makes sense. I'm gonna have to go pretty soon. I want to know, Derek Smith, you got something coming up? King of the California or something?
What do I got? Yeah, I got. Let's see. I got, as far as competition wise, I'm gonna go to a tournament out in Phoenix, Arizona on August 6th, 7th. It's one of Bill Collins' event. I'm gonna do for sure left-handed, but since it's a month before my super match, I don't know if I'll throw the right up there or not. And the whole team's going out there, the whole squad. Before that, I'll be going. Hopefully, I'm planning it today. We've been planning. I'm going to go to Dave Chafee's house. Hopefully, train with Dave Chafee before he goes and meets up with Levon and get some practice in with him, some footage. I'll also be going out to North Carolina on July 25th to put on a practice / seminar type of thing out there with James Reach Rides, and July 25th.
July 25th in Jamestown.
At James Reach Rides' house.
What, July 25th?
Yeah, I'll be out there. And then I'm at my super match with Tom Nelson is on September 5th. The right-handed super match for King of California. That's going on July 4th. And what's September 4th. September 4th.
And who is in the King of California with you? Remind us.
That is me versus Tom Nelson, who has traditionally always been the #1 guy in California, right and left-handed. Been a little not as active the last few years. And so I've been pretty active, and I have a good social media following, so I've been pretty hailed as one of the top guys in California, correctly or incorrectly. So either way, that's people been saying that. Kind of pissed off Tom, so he came back and said, who wants some? And,
in my day, he was.
Yeah, it was always Tom. I agree. I'm from
kind of the guy.
I know how things work.
So
here.
what was your record back then?
Oh, Tom. Well, I've only armed Tom one time ever. He was my very first match I've ever pulled in the open bracket, in pro bracket. My very first match ever. It was Tom Nelson. I remember, obviously, he smoked me. And that was the only time we've ever pulled. Never to practice. That's the only time we've ever gripped up. But yeah, Tom is definitely, until proven otherwise, the man. And so he came back and said, who wants it right and left-handed? And Tom's traditionally a left-hander, but he's #1 usually right and left-handed in California. So people said Derek. And so I'm stamping up right-handed to hopefully claim this. And then Tony Tomlinson.
Hold on. I just would like to say, Tom Nelson, I'm so excited to see him getting fired up again. He's watching some of the actions going on in the sport. He wants a little taste.
Buddy, we were messaging each other yesterday a little bit and stuff like that. So it's not like a bad blood or anything like that. It's just, this is a chance for me, and to hopefully, close some things up and kind of finish some stuff over here on the West Coast, hopefully, and then start moving on. And then Tony Thompson has it, Tom left-handed. And then Dallas Langston and Kenny Hughes will be pulling at 205 or 200 pounds, which has always been a good matchup. I think the last super match they had, Kenny won, right? And then I think Dallas beat him at events after that, but no, not in a super match. So that's going to be a little bit interesting. And then I know they were working on some other ones. He was trying to figure out a way to get Luke Kent involved, maybe Oleg Mosai or Allen, or he's trying to get some more matches going. I know he's been working on them, so we'll see if anything else pops up for that day.
So, Tom, from what I remember, Tom loves to go inside. Where do you see that match going with you and Tom, right-handed?
Okay, how do I word this? I'm hoping that by that time I am so astronomically strong that it goes wherever the hell I want it to go, Gary. And I don't know. Figure it out. Right-handed, I hook and topo. I can do both. That are at like the same level.
So you're not going to tip the hat and give us, so you're not going to tell us what your plan is.
Too much. Not even too much. I'm going to feel it out though, and I'll see where I'm at. But yeah, I got some options right-handed. Not saying specifically with Tom, just in life. I have some options usually right-handed. So I'll try it out, some different things. But I plan to go in there very strong in both ways.
Before I forget, Uncle John.
Yes, sir.
Next time you talk to Cobra, I want to know, was he just joking when he hung up on me? I was like, I feel
Gary,
bad.
he was deadly serious.
Oh my gosh.
You are lucky he's not at your door right now.
Yeah, you burned that bridge, Gary.
Derek, you got quite a summer going on. I would like to hear
after that.
I would like to hear. Wait, what?
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm staring at the top of the mountain, Gary. I'm getting big and I'm getting really strong, and I'm just staring at the top of the mountain. Literally, every time I do a heavy set of curls or something, I'm picturing like Levon. Like, not that I'm near that right now, but I'm saying like that's where I'm going. That's where I'm trying to go. And so along the way, I got some stops, of course, and some things I need to do. But that's the plan. Just keep going up, and I'm really strong right now. So, but I have been contacted by Neil. Neil reached out to me about some stuff potentially one day. I messaged Adam Silver a little bit, but hopefully maybe get on that card. We talked a little bit.
Oh, the
so
king. What? King of the.
No, that's it. We
But what? What?
Just I'm trying. I'm trying.
Is there potential that match that they're working on, the King of the Table 2? There's a potential, maybe.
No, I'm not even going to say that much. I'm just going to say I put my name in the hat. He knows it, and we talked about a potential match. And for a match, well, I would like to pull Alex Kurdeka from Poland. And Alex actually tagged Adam Silver on Instagram and said, hey, what about me and Derek? He said it too. So I know they both know we want it. And I'll be getting as strong as I can up until then. So hopefully, and I know I'm the huge underdog, but that's my international goal currently is Alex. So
and the beat goes on, says, Christ, Gary, let Derek get his plugs in. Listen, it's my job to kind of interject here and there, so we keep it popping. Hey, guys,
on my YouTube, guys.
I got a giddy.
All right.
Got a lot to do.
Great show. Hey, everybody in the chat, thank you so much for supporting tonight. We had a lot of very, very good super chats. We definitely appreciate it. Helps keep the lights on, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Everybody on your screen right now has YouTube channel. Subscribe to ARMTV. Subscribe to Arm Wrestling Derek. Subscribe to Uncle John's Arm Wrestling Show. I will show you how to get big muscles just like this on my way to Arm Wars against David Bradford. Tune in tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Atlantic. It'll actually be in the afternoon, 6 p.m. Atlantic, 2 p.m. Pacific. Figure out where you are in between there. My opponent, David Bradford, will be on Uncle John's Arm Wrestling Show. Arm Wrestling After Dark.
Don't you dare be nice to him, John. Don't you dare be nice to him. Don't give him that. Don't give it to him.
Uncle John, listen. Experiment with the being a little saucy. Let's make this interesting. You know, poke the bear a little bit. Let's drum up. Look, there would be nothing cooler to see you guys overshadow the main cards, whoever they are. It's like, hey man, let's get some spirit up here.
Well, we already know what the main card is going to be, right? It's going to be RVJ and Sasho, right? So that's going to be hard to do because that's a really, really good match. But let me tell you this: no one on that card is going to hype their match as much as I am.
Yeah,
that will not happen.
I mean,
I guarantee you that.
I mean, this should be like a staple. Like this will be a little formula. Like every promoter who wants a card should like invite Uncle John because he's going to talk about your tournament, his matchup for like an eternity. It's like good marketing. And I have faith that you will do well. And like, hey, everyone pick a fight with Uncle John. You want him, you crush him.
I will be doing some promos. I will be getting into character, and I will be making veins pop in my forehead for some stuff. And be ready. I got 14 and a half weeks, 14 and a half week training program. I got 10 more pounds to gain, maybe 15 more pounds to gain, pending what the weight limit is. So we're gonna get significantly thick. Starting tomorrow, I will have from Lumberjack Nutrition, Mizel Jador. He's my man. He's got me on about 4,000-ish calories a day. And that's going to be what I do moving forward.
And 4,000, is that clean or is that pancake sauce?
It's very clean.
There's no syrup in there?
No.
All right. Did you read Daniel Urich, $5 me versus Larry's janitor?
I did not.
Daniel Urich, me versus Larry's janitor, possibly in the works. King of the Table 2. For real, Daniel? You heading over there?
I'd love to see.
How new is Daniel? He's a strong tree faller, but can he arm wrestle?
I've never seen Daniel arm wrestle. I think he's very new to the game, but he's very, very dedicated.
Daniel,
he's the weakest guy I know. Daniel is. He might be the weakest human I've ever met.
Daniel, no disrespect. I know you love arm wrestling, but you got to walk through Gary Roberts if you want to take this business seriously. I'm the new person. I'm the first person all new people should arm wrestle, because if I beat you better just stick to promotion. Okay, guys, let's call it a night. Thank you very much. I think next Tuesday we'll have a will have had my event. We'll know whether it's worked or not worked, had fun or not fun. Some of my experiments paid off or not paid off, but please,
Love
the
it.
111 people join back, help us chat it out. Derek, as always, thanks for coming on the show.
Love you, bud.
Thanks to Ozzy for being on earlier. We love you guys. Peace out.
Boys.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. June 19th, ROTN. Come to Chicago, Long Grove. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Okay.